A, D, 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 F sharp, A will be the first notes of our show.
We'll start with the seed of an idea,
Then plant it onto paper with a Dixon Ticonderoga, and then watch it sprout into a musical. And then we'll help to make it grow bigger. Nothing guarantees it will stand out.
Hello, all you theater lovers, both out and proud and on the DL, and welcome back to Broadway Breakdown, a podcast discussing the history and legacy of American theater's most exclusive address, Broadway. This series is called The Big Move, and it is covering shows that had such success off-Broadway. They just had to move to the Great White Way and try some luck over there. I am your host, Matt Koplik, the least famous and most opinionated of all the Broadway podcast hosts. Although, not to brag, I do think I have to start changing that title soon. I don't think I'm the least famous anymore. I think I'm now like bottom third.
Bottom third.
As opposed to bottom of the barrel.
Yes.
My guest today, I can't call you the moment because your moment has lasted quite long. Moments in the woods are fleeting. And
God.
You haven't fleeted.
That means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You're not Fleet Week.
I'm not Fleet Week.
You're Memorial Day. We're always
Happy
thinking
Memorial
of you.
Day.
Happy Memorial Day. We're always thinking of you. You might know him as the person on social media who reads all theater kids for filth, and we're talking about a good show for that. Please welcome Tyler Joseph Ellis.
Hi.
Hi.
Matt, hello.
Hello.
Hello. I'm so excited to be here. I truly am a fan first, so I'm so excited that I get to be on the pod.
I'm so happy to have you on the pod. You are a very funny individual.
Thanks.
Unfortunately, social media does not indicate the intelligence of most people. So I'm very happy that I got to find you on our beloved friend Kyle Marshall's podcast.
We love Kyle Marshall in this house.
Where, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen today. We're probably not going to be intelligent today.
Probably not.
But if you want any reassurance that Tyler is, in fact, an exceptionally intelligent and insightful human being,
Thank you.
You can go on Putting It Together by Kyle Marshall. And he has a most recent episode on, it's Finishing the Hat, right?
It's beautiful.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
No, sorry.
beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
That's even better because that's
Yes.
a deeper cut.
It's a much deeper cut.
And not only that, but Tyler does reference my episode on that episode.
I mentioned the episode.
She's an ally,
No,
everybody.
I'm an ally first and foremost. Happy Pride. I'm straight myself, as you can tell from my voice.
Yeah. And our very short shorts, we both could not be more straight.
We both arrive, and I'm like, oh, thank God, because I was so nervous to wear shorts, and now I'm like, the legs are out.
They are out. And
the girls.
yes. The gams are out. Tyler, what musical are we talking about today?
I'm so thrilled to be talking about title of show today.
Yes. Now, this is the second show that wasn't on my original roster of shows to cover. But as I got further along with this series, there were some shows I had trouble getting people to cover. Like, no one will touch For Colored Girls, and it makes me sad.
Oh, I love that show.
As do I.
And I loved that revival.
It was a really lovely revival. I don't know if I loved the computer screens, but otherwise...
I forgot about that. No,
Yeah.
the performances were just so brilliant.
Oh, they were all gorgeous.
Yeah, gorgeous.
But I've been having trouble getting people to sign off on that. No one, for some reason, will touch In the Heights. I'm like, but she's delightful. But so I was like, you know what? Let me lean in. And like, let me start asking people any off-Broadway shows they would want to cover.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we just did Spelling Bee with Todd Buonapane, who's a dream. And then I reached out to you.
Yeah.
And I gave you a list of like options. Then you're like, well, I mean, how about this one? And I was
Yeah.
like, oh.
I mean, how about this one?
Yeah, I'm
Because
like,
you're like,
absolutely.
okay, off Broadway to Broadway. I mean, I can't think of a better chronicle of that than a show that writes itself and covers that. You know,
Absolutely.
going off Broadway to Broadway.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, if ever there was a Broadway musical that is the vibe of this podcast.
That's exactly, that feels right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I forgot how formative that show was for me when it came out, and we'll get into all of her. But first of all, for those who are unaware, uncultured fucks, as we like to call
Oh my
them,
God. Yes.
what is title of show about?
Title of show is about two best friends and creative partners, Hunter and Jeff, who are real people, Hunter Bell and Jeff Bowen, who are sort of, unhappy with their current, stasis, and they get word of a new musical theater festival. One of them pitches to the other, maybe we should write something. It's like, oh, but the deadline is due in 3 weeks. So that gives us, 3 weeks? And then they write. So they decide, this is more of a creative challenge, more of like a with no expectations. So they decide to write a show, get selected for the festival, and you see the show that they're writing as they're writing it. So so what they always say, it's about two guys writing a musical, about two guys writing a musical, about two guys writing a musical, and they elicit the help from their two friends, Jeff, I was going to say Jeff, Susan and Heidi, based on obviously real people, because they are real people, Susan Blackwell and Heidi Blickenstaff, and their trials and tribulations as they try to get the show to Broadway.
Yeah, and the show has had many incarnations, because there's the literal version that went to the festival, because the whole thing came about of literally they didn't know what to write. And like, well, if we wrote about us trying to write a musical for the festival, and it gets into the festival, and then from there they got some fancy producers attached and went to the Eugene O'Neill Theater Center. Then they opened at the Vineyard off Broadway and did 2 stints there, and so they expanded the show to include that journey, and then eventually it goes to Broadway and they included that journey. So it's if you watch the title of show, which we'll absolutely get into, the way that they describe it is sort of it's a musical that chronicles its own inception, or like a snake eating its own tail.
Oh, it's what does Susan say? She's like, or the musical that eats its own tail, like the way. She's
exactly.
Genius. Oh,
sucking
genius.
your own dingus. Happy New Year, Grandma.
Oh my Jesus Christ!
I watched a lot of title of show in preparation for this.
I rewatch it maybe every 6 months, like all the episodes.
They're quite fun.
And genius. Like, it was before anything. No one was doing internet content alongside, like, on their own, producing it themselves alongside their own, show, and trying to get it because it was in the in-between period of the Vineyard and Broadway. They had no real sort of hope. Like, they had so much hope, but not really a lot of prospects in terms of making it transfer. So they're like, well, we have kind of niche fans of this show, so let's keep making content sort of about the show and see what happens. And I guess we're not going to spoil what ends up happening. Well, it goes to Broadway.
Yeah,
because we've already said that,
and we're talking about it on this.
And we're talking about it on this podcast. But yeah, it changed the game in that way. And,
well, it's a very inspiring tale for any creatives about not accepting sort of the rules of how shows get produced and sort of fighting for your moment and making your own opportunities, and then just like always championing yourself and finding new ways to get people talking about you. We will go into that a bit more. I think that there's any two people who can tell you like there are multiple avenues to get your name out there for people. That's us.
So true. That's so true. Yeah.
Like I don't think I could have told you 4 years ago that like there are certain people in the community who I like now speak to regularly.
Yeah.
Purely because of social media, just like of writing reviews or doing the podcast, and same thing with you with all of your content.
Huge.
Yeah, it's like who would have thunk?
Who would have thunk?
Yeah,
no, precisely, exactly.
I mean, it's absolutely insane. In fact, actually, I wasn't going to tell you this, but now I'm gonna
do it.
We're best friends now.
Yeah, obviously.
We were at the same performance of Parade back in I want to say late March.
On Broadway.
Yeah, on Broadway.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it at City Center. I was busy.
Yeah.
But I saw you get recognized by like one or two people, and I thought that was so cool.
Oh, thank you for saying that.
Well, it is true. And I don't know, I didn't know you yet, but you seem like a decent person. I don't think so now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that illusion has been broken.
Yes. Oh, I don't even want to let you all know what he said before this.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
I mean,
cancel him.
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
But I saw you get recognized by a few people. And I was like, that's so cool. Like the outreach of social media and always like trying new things and then just getting yourself out there and not sort of accepting the normal path of like, well, if I want to become famous, I must audition for a show and then get into the show and be the lead of the show. It's like I can make my own opportunities, create my own content.
I appreciate you saying that so much.
Do you not believe that?
No, I believe it. I pinch myself every day. Because it's the same, you put it so perfectly that people in the industry that you maybe looked up to or were fans of are now like peers.
Yeah.
And that shift happened. I guess it was over the course of 3 years, but it feels so fast. So you saying that, I'm like, yeah, it is great. Every single time anyone comes up to me, I'm like, what? Like, and I say this almost every single time anyone comes, like, I love your videos. And what I say back to them is like, I make them alone in my apartment, just to be like, this is so strange that something that I set up my green screen and it's silent in my apartment, and then I do my little bits and then edit them on iMovie and then put them on the internet. And the fact that it reaches strangers is still very strange to me. I don't know. I just can't believe it. So anyway, but I think I will get into why the show means a lot to me in particular. But I think everything I do has little bits of title of show in it. I'm so glad we're talking about it because I think part of the reason why it wasn't super foreign to me to think that I could, make some sketches and funny videos and put them on the internet. Because the title of show taught me like how to do that. So I am forever indebted to this show. It all comes back. We
found our way back to then.
Yeah.
So,
oh my God. Yes.
Yes. So what was your introduction to this show? Tell me about your journey.
I was a junior in high school, and my high school theater teacher, Kim Taylor, sort of really saw me go from a person interested in theater to like a theater kid to like a theater obsessed kid. Mm-hmm. She sort of watched I started doing summer programs, et cetera, and started getting really, really into it. And she saw that I was starting to really get into theater history, and just being obsessed about random niche shows. And then she's like, wait, you would love this musical title of show. I was like, okay. And then, so it was the end of my junior year of high school, started listening to title of show, started getting obsessed with title of show, and then made the decision. I was like, next year, my swan song, my senior year of high school will be to do it. I'm going to produce it and direct it. I didn't have any intention of being in it, but then auditions happened, and I'm like, I'm going to be Jeff. Because, and then
you wanted to take your top off.
I wanted to, yeah. I'm not taking my shirt off.
Both of you, take your fucking shirts off so we can sell some tickets to the show.
But I ended up, so then we did it legally, because I think title show is unfortunately a very easy show to do illegally, because it's only a keyboard, so you can get the score and sort of put it on.
Yeah.
But don't do that. Please give the writers of the show their due.
Yeah.
So we did it legally, got the rights, everything, and we took it to a theater competition in the Bay Area called Ohlone Theater Festival, which is no more, but it was a high school theater competition. And we brought a 10-minute version of title of show before we ended up doing the production. Ended up winning the festival because a lot of kids, they don't know the show, and we like cut together a 10-minute version that was so pandered to the audience, like the high school theater kids,
Sure.
And we kept posting about it, whatever. Little did we know the writers of the show were following along on our journey for the show. Like, we didn't, like, they weren't interacting or anything, but Hunter and Jeff and like they were all watching us, because they, of course, they love the show just as,
Yeah.
So we did our show. It was a one night only show in May. It was the last thing I did in high school, and I staged it so that we started on stage. So we were like jamming out to show tunes as people walked in. Little did I know, Hunter Bell walks into the theater, and he happened to be in California, and he walks into the theater with a couple of his friends, and my theater teacher's like, oh my God, and like and sees him. There's no way to tell me, and there's no intermission. There's no way to tell me that he's there. So we do the whole show, and we go backstage, and he's waiting for us. And it was like one of the best moments in my entire life. And so since then, I've remained in contact with Jeff and Hunter. I've now worked sort of with Susan. I helped her because I ended up working for a New York Musical Festival because I followed the title. I was like, I want to work there. So I was their marketing intern. And then she was like one of the honorary people that year, so got to know her. And now I've gotten to know Heidi because of the Jagged Little Pill tour, and I have a few friends on it. So it's all, and I went to the 10-year anniversary in 2018. Title show is so important to me, and really set me on a journey, because they believed, Hunter's praise for the show really made me believe that I could do this.
Yeah.
And went to college for it and everything.
And now we have a full-blown monster in front of us.
And now I'm a monster.
A monster.
So that's my long-winded story, but this show means so much to me.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I also got into the show junior year of high school.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, I think because so they were at the Vineyard in February of 2006, and then they had a second stint that July. And so they ended, I think, in October of 2006, which was the beginning of my junior year. And I fully did not catch it at the Vineyard, even though I was a city kid. For some reason, it just wasn't on my radar. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until the cast album came out, and I had certain friends who were super into it and introduced me to it. Allie Gordon, godmother of the pod, she introduced me to it. And I just became fully obsessed.
Yeah.
And we would listen to it, and I would try to decipher it as much as I could. And then our senior year of high school was when the title of the show started.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
And so I got to put, faces to the voices and get more insight into what the show was about.
Yeah.
And I was so into the title of the show. And then when they finally did announce they were coming to Broadway, it was the summer before I left for college. And Allie, myself, and then our friends Lily and Jeremy created our own little web series in honor of it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not telling anyone the title. Please don't look it up. I'm not super proud of it because we were 18 and, you know, with a flip phone camera.
Oh my
Every
God.
now and then there's like a good one-liner here and there, but like, but I will say, like, 'cause Allie and I wrote the scripts, and you know, we were also kind of like figuring out where to toe the line of like doing jokes just for us and jokes that someone else would like. There's like a lot of Doctor Who jokes that I wasn't getting at the time.
Oh, got it.
Shit like that, yeah. But there's you like, if you ever see it, you'll be like, oh, there's a nugget in there, but it's very much 18-year-olds putting a thing together.
But I love that.
Yeah, but it led us to go see the show when it was in previews at the Lyceum, and like we went backstage and we met Susan, we met Hunter, and I think we even have a photo with Hunter, and that was really lovely. And then when the show closed, I went back for the final performance.
Yeah.
With Lily and Jeremy. Allie was at Michigan at that point, so she couldn't fly back. But that show always just had a place in our hearts as these like nerdy theater kids who were so in love with the community, with the history, and to watch the Broadway community kind of rally behind the show felt so cool. And like Hunter, Jeff, Susan, and Heidi felt like a quartet you just wanted to like be friends with.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do. So, okay. There's a lot I do want to discuss, but I did write in my notes when watching it at the library again, because they filmed it at the Vineyard.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about all that as well. So much we'll talk about. But I do want to talk about sort of the friendship dynamics in the show, because if there's something I do love about this show, and it's important because I don't know if it's going to be the episode after this or 2 episodes after this, we are going to cover Significant Other.
Oh my God, I love that play.
I mean, it's Devastation City.
Devastation City.
But if there's one thing that they're connected on, it's the relationship between straight women and gay men.
Yeah.
But title of show, I was watching, I was like, oh, this is such a healthy friendship.
It's beautiful.
It's pure love.
Yeah.
And no condescension in any way.
No.
Because also, I mean, I don't know if you know this. You're famously younger than I am. We were talking about this before we started recording. Like, some of the content that came out when you were in high school was a little more open and honest and healthy than some of the stuff I got.
Yes.
And so I've often had like female friendships where, you know, even like the best ones, there's always like a little something, just because eventually your lives go from parallel to perpendicular.
Yeah.
And as gay men, we often have to, you know, fight to include ourselves in our friends' narratives because we don't fit the norm, unfortunately, just like by existing.
Oh my
but then
God,
but then there are also female friendships where, like, even though you think it's a good friendship, you slowly come to realize that like you're the handbag to them, like you're an accessory. I could go on for years about some people like this, where it's just like they think they're allies and that they're like your friends, but they're slightly condescending to you.
You're the whole
yeah,
and that you're always cute, you're always precious, you're always, you know.
It's
I totally get it.
Yeah, I don't. I want to. One thing that one person said to me, and I wouldn't call this person a friend by any means, but it was very clear to me that they said it thinking that they were being like just wonderful, and I wanted to slap them through the phone when they said like, "Oh, we could have introduced you to some of our lovely gay friends." I was like,
"Lovely gay friends."
Our lovely gay friends. I was like, "Go find the fuck yourself." Fuck you. We are not your pet rabbits, bitch.
I just don't know. It's like if you replace that with any other like marginalized community, it sounds wrong. But for some reason, gay feels totally right. I don't know. It's like we're there for straight women's consumption.
Well, because for most of the 90s we were. Like that was how we were. The way we were introduced safely into pop culture was sort of as like a Jack or Will or Stanford Blanche.
Yeah, of course.
And I don't begrudge those moments because they were important moments.
Oh, super important.
But in the same way that like I talk about all the time in musical theater when like, you know, people like go back and they will say things that are wrong with The King, and I'm like, like there are things that don't age well, but like Oscar Hammerstein wrote The King, and I hoping other writers would be like, great, we'll write like more shows for that ethnicity and like further along that narrative. But like no one else picked up the torch. He was like, fuck, I guess it's just going to be my show for the next 30 years.
Stuck in time. Yeah, exactly.
But so that's sort of what Stanford Blanche is like.
Stanford Blanche is like for you. Because I love rewatching Will and Grace. I love rewatching Sex and the City. And I'm able to, as you know, a conscious consumer of it, understand that times have changed and understand that, sure, now this seems really, really like, oh my God, how dated is this? But I don't like when people come for both of those shows like with a 2023 lens, and I'm like, that's a losing game, you know. I'm like, now I look back on it, understanding. I'm like, it's your job as a consumer of it to understand context. Yeah, and that's why I met Sean Hayes because I had to interview him for the Meet the Nominees, and I don't really get starstruck that easily, but with him I was, because he was in my living room all the time. My parents fall asleep to sitcoms, and Will and Grace being one of them. And I really credit him for bringing gayness into my household first,
Yeah.
like in making it, all my family love Sean Hayes. So it was just, I was looking at him being like, oh my God, you have no idea how important you were to my coming out. Like, and that's what he was to me.
And the irony is he's probably like, I absolutely know how
Yeah,
important
he's
it was.
like, he's like, of course. Like, but of course.
He's like, I'm sorry, do you think you're the only one who said this to me? I'm sure I can write you the script right here, right now. I'm motherfucking Sean Hayes.
I'm motherfucking Sean Hayes.
Yeah.
Tony winner,
Sean Hayes. Emmy winner, Sean Hayes.
But yeah, exactly.
But
exactly.
so I say this only because with the title of the show, the Heidi Susan characters and their friendships with Jeff and Hunter, and I did a little bit of research to like kind of figure out some of the genesis of the show and how they all got to know each other.
Yeah.
It all kind of comes back to Hunter because Hunter met Jeff, I think, doing a show at Goodspeed. Hunter met Susan. Oh, no, sorry. No, it all comes back to Jeff, I mean.
Yeah.
Because Jeff met Susan doing something.
The Who's... Oh, sorry. He met Heidi doing the Who's Tommy.
Yes, in Brazil. Yes.
Which is in the show.
Yes, it is in the show. And then Susan met Jeff first, and then that's how she got involved with Jeff and Hunter, and that's how they all kind of came to be. But you watch how they interact with each other, and like it is just pure love friendship.
Yeah.
Like four people who speak the same language, who enjoy each other's company, and there's no
Same sense of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you'll talk about like, Susan's getting married and Jeff and Hunter are going to be her maids of honor.
Yeah.
And she says it like in her funny Susan way.
My beautiful maids of honor.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But you know that there's genuine love and care there.
Of course.
And when shit hits the fan, like they all throw the shit equally. It's
not one of them being... all of them have their issues.
yeah, it's
And that's why I think it's so... And it earned the nomination for Best Book of a Musical. I think Hunter... And I'm sure a lot of them also, like... Hunter is responsible for, like, probably putting pen to paper, but I'm sure, like, all of them, it's their voices. But I think it's just so brilliant and nuanced and rides this line of being very earnest, but also being hilarious. Like, one of the funniest books ever. And I've sort of based a lot of my sense of humor off of that.
And very self-aware.
Yeah.
I mean, people can say, like, oh, well, how much of a book can there be if they just chronicled what happened? And the truth is that if you actually watch... I mean, not everyone is as fortunate as we are to be in the city to go to Lincoln Center Library to watch it. But if you, like, read the script for the Broadway version and you watch the Vineyard version, and I'm sure it was something similar for the festival.
Yeah.
But the whole structure of, like, we're struggling, we get the success, and then, like, we cave to the pressure of success, the change it, don't change it. Like, that was there at the Vineyard, but it was about the off-Broadway run.
Yeah.
And then they changed that to Broadway when Broadway became a reality. So clearly, like, there are things in that script that did not actually happen.
Of course.
And they say that. Like, when people ask, like, how much of it is true, they're like, enough of it is true that it's about us. But they're like, yeah, no, we dramatize some things because you need to.
Because you have to. It's a musical.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, if the whole process was smooth and everyone loved each other the entire time, it's like, great, what a tight 2 paragraphs on kittens. As
Two paragraphs on kittens,
as
yes.
Susan says, yeah. So there's stuff in there that's definitely didn't happen, that's their own invention. And they talk about, how it's all collaborative. But yeah, like, Jeff is the one who had to, as you said, put pen to paper and, like, figure out the structure and what needed to stay and what could go. And it's just, it's very smart. We'll talk about, like, I guess some, like, nitpicky things they have about it, but overall the product is so effective. Like, when I talk about these things, it's more sort of like, I don't know, it's critical analysis rather than me being like, here's where the show fails. And more like, here's a show I love, and, like, if I had to, like, talk about things, here are some bumpy stuff.
Yeah.
But, I mean, 98% of shows have bumpy stuff.
It would be weird if not. There's, like, 4 musicals that I think are perfect.
Yeah. What are the ones?
Oh my God. Well, I think Cabaret is a perfect musical.
Interesting. Well, which version?
The 98 version.
Yeah.
The version that everyone does now.
Yes, exactly.
I just think Joe Mastroff's book mixed with the Kindred score, like, is pretty airtight. Like, not one thing in that show could be removed.
Yeah.
I just think it's perfect. I
also appreciate in that version, they're like, Cliff is gay. He fucks men.
No, like, he gay,
gay.
which is so necessary. And I played Cliff in high school, and it was, like, such, like, a necessary thing for me to play. I was like, oh my God, I love this. And it was just, it's fast because I have friends that are gay, and then all of a sudden they have this, like, they meet someone, they're having an awakening with it. They're like, I picked too soon, like, I definitely fall more in the spectrum of, and I think that's an amazing role. And I think Cliff is a really unsung hero in musical theater. He's like the impetus for the show. He's the reason it happens. But everyone's like, Cliff's such a forgettable role. I'm like, because he's the straight man.
Yeah, he's the glue.
But I'm like, he's such a vital part of the show, and I feel like I always look for the Cliff. I'm like, who's playing Cliff?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of
if your Cliff is bad, the show won't be as sensational as you want it to be.
You're so right. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. So I think Gypsy's a perfect musical.
Yeah.
I think West Side Story is a pretty perfect musical, and I think Fiddler on the Roof is a pretty perfect musical.
That's a good top 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then there's others that get so close. There's that I'm like, oh my god. But just with those 4 shows, I'm like, I don't think you can make any sort of cut to make it better.
Yeah, no, there's nothing in Gypsy I'd cut. Although when we did the Gypsy episode, Preston Max Allen noted that there's really nothing in the script that ever gives an indication that Louise has something in her to become Gypsy Rose Lee. Like,
sure, that's like the actor's job.
Yeah, there's no line in there like where like Louise makes a crack or something where you go, oh,
yeah,
look who came in with an opinion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah! Look at that. Yeah, no, she really doesn't.
Look who came to play.
Yeah.
And I think like all you need is one moment, like one line in Act 2.
Yeah, that's right.
When she like makes a witty retort,
and you're like,
yeah. They try to make the whole like I'm a pretty girl mama that moment, but because of how her strip, it becomes more about like her intellect as well as her beauty.
Yeah,
it would be nice to have something like that, but I don't think that makes Gypsy not perfect. It's just
yeah.
like Preston said that I was like, yeah, I think Arthur could have written one line.
Yeah, maybe something. I think they really wanted it to be a surprise. They're really like, wow, really didn't see this.
Yeah,
coming.
They really wanted that arc to be in the strip, and
yeah.
When you have a good Louise, that strip works like
Laura
gangbusters.
Benanti, like,
yeah,
I will never stop thinking about it.
Yeah, I remember when Benanti did it, and I mean, honestly, it was around the time the title of the show was popping up because
2008. Right?
Yep. Because she did it at City Center that summer, and I remember when she got cast, everyone was like, "The fuck!" Like, no one thought that was good casting. And then she did it, pissed all over the stage.
No,
and
literally.
We're like, "I don't want another Louise in my life."
Oh my god! Like, I get emotional thinking about it. She is just a revelation in that part.
She is. I remember the way. So Laura's one of those people where like she is a stunning human being.
Yeah, gorgeous.
But like she talks about this openly. It took a minute for her to sprout into the Laura Benanti we all know.
Sure.
Her like all of us, she had a childhood and teenagers that were like rough and tumble.
Yeah.
And because of that, it's what allows her to be so funny and intelligent, because when you can't rely on your looks, you have to start relying on other things and curating your brain. But so because of that, she is very much a comedic genius. I've always wanted to. She's had a few performances where I like want to go on stage and be like, okay, we need to lose this laugh, but we're going to make that laugh better.
Oh wow! Look
but,
at you.
Well, but it's one of those like blessings.
No,
where it's like,
absolutely.
she can find a laugh
anywhere. It's masterful.
It really is, and it's not a her note. It's me being like, hey Bart, can I come into the room for a second?
Hey Bart, sorry, do you mind?
Do you mind if I come in here for a minute?
And he wouldn't.
He wouldn't mind. But in Gypsy, I remember, so the way she does that first strip, and we're not even talking about title of the show right now.
I know, oh my god, but this
is, first of all, we go on tangents on this podcast, Tyler. But also title of the show, this is what it is.
This is what it is.
Most Louises, when they do that first strip, and they do the "My name is Gypsy Rose Lee. What's yours, sir?" And it's usually like meant to sort of lean into her sexuality. It's like Krista Moore, Tammy Blanchard. They do like a sir. And Laura, I remember, made it kind of awkward because she was still finding her way into the sexuality.
Oh my god!
So she's like, "My name is Gypsy Rose Lee. What's yours, sir?"
Yeah, and it's so good. Oh my god,
good. She's great. And her hat bit. What am I going to do when big hats
go
out? When they go out.
Oh my god,
she's great. She's great. But this is to say, with title of the show.
Title of the show.
Well, she was on the title of the show.
You're completely right about that.
She was. A lot of people were. I don't even know how we got here, but
I was saying that title is like, oh, what show? A lot of shows, but so few so few are perfect in my opinion. Yes.
Greatness and perfection are not the same thing. There are
exactly.
There are a lot of great musicals that are not perfect.
Yes.
As we all know, Carousel is my favorite musical. There is one song that I would cut, which is
Blow High Blow. I'm kidding.
Well,
it's not What's Use of Wonderin'. Is that really the one you would cut?
No, fuck no.
Wait, what one would you cut?
I would cut Highest Judge of All, which they did cut in '94.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. And they didn't cut it in the 2018 revival. And I'm like, oh, you're gonna cut half the book scenes, but you're not gonna cut
so
this.
Many book scenes.
You're not gonna cut this scene change number. Seriously.
Highest Judge of All, I would maybe agree.
Oh, actually, back to the title of the show.
yes.
So they. In the song, an original musical.
Yes, of course.
When Hunter is the blank paper, trying to inspire Jeff. In the cast recording, they're talking about like, if you're gonna make it to Broadway, like you gotta have a star, be a recognizable commodity. And Jeff goes, I think having good products is the way to go, and we don't want to lower the bar with talentless actors. And Hunter goes, me. He goes, shit, people want to see Paris Hilton in the apple tree.
Who wants to see Paris Hilton in the apple tree?
I don't know, a lot of people. But so on Broadway, I think they changed it to Paris Hilton and Mame, I think. But
Paris Hilton is Mame is what it is, yeah.
Yeah, but at the Vineyard.
Oh no.
And I wasn't ready for this because it's a good joke. At the library recording at the Vineyard, he goes, me. Shit, people want to see Paris Hilton and Sunset Boulevard. And Jeff goes, who wants to see Sunset Boulevard? It's so fucking funny.
Oh my god. Who wants to see Sunset Boulevard?
Who wants to see Sunset Boulevard?
The shade.
The
oh my
shade of it
god. Oh, I love them so much.
I do too. And you know what? I've had this hot take about Sunset Boulevard. I know you know them too. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of really opinionated, snobby gays.
I know a lot of people that love Sunset Boulevard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm talking people who, they go see the most recent Fiddler and they're like, oh, well, Steidel's vocal placement wasn't what it should be. And I'm like, go get fucked by a cactus.
Oh my god.
But they objectively think Sunset Boulevard is a brilliant musical. Mm-hmm. I'm like, her?
Oh my god.
Anne? Her?
Anne?
Oh, I didn't mean who. I meant her.
Yeah, Sunset.
What, is she funny or something?
I'm trying to think. That score, in terms of where it lies in the Andrew Lloyd Webber canon, is probably relatively high up for me.
I mean, there's some gorgeous music in there, and As If We Never Said Goodbye, for some reason, defies logic. It's more that
song is good.
It is good, and it also it's
with one look.
When you have a diva doing it and she comes downstage and she goes,
it's more that's what the show does so beautifully. Is like, if you put the right person in this part, all of a sudden the show sings.
And if you don't make her a gargoyle like they usually do, I'm sorry.
If you don't make her a gargoyle, that is so rich. Well, Stephanie just did it.
Yes, and
far from gargoyle.
Because Stephanie J. Block is like, I'm sorry, I'm a sultry 50-something. Mm-hmm. I still fuck. I don't need to be a gargoyle. It's like, yes, you're correct.
Yeah.
In the 90s, Trevor Nunn was like, so Norma's 51. So she's got no hair and she wears wigs. And she's got makeup like a kabuki actress.
Oh my god. My god.
And Andrew Lloyd Webber, he who loves women, is like, but of course.
Yeah.
He goes, and Betty Schaefer, she's under 30 and she's thin and a virgin. Because that's what happens with women we love.
Exactly.
They don't fuck yet.
Oh my god. Andrew Lloyd Webber found dead.
Well, I mean, you know my hot take about Phantom, right? About what Phantom of the Opera is really about.
What?
I
know?
It's about a horny incel who's makes it a point to gaslight and kidnap the only virgin left in Paris.
Yeah. No. That's is what it's about.
That's all what it's about.
That's on license. It's on Concord Theatrical. That's what the
yeah. It's their tagline.
It's the tagline.
Yeah. It's what's on Maine.
Yeah.
And he's like, Carlotta.
I literally just re-saw Phantom, of course, right before it closed. It's such a wild experience,
it is.
Witnessing that show again.
Listen, I enjoy the show, and I will say the original production is as good as it's gonna get. But and I've talked about this before, like Hal Prince knew, cut as many applause breaks as possible, because the moment you applaud, it's a moment to think about what you've just seen, and if you think about what you've just seen,
there really aren't a lot of moments to applaud.
And if you think about anything you've just seen in Phantom, you go, wait a second,
what's this about? Yeah,
what's going on here?
But the fact that it lasted as long as it did, I mean, I give Hal so much credit for that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess America just really loves to see women with daddy issues fall into traps.
But I guess the West End, too, right?
Yeah, well, the West End's just like, who's a woman? Ever since Jane Austen died, we haven't thought about women as people.
Oh, my God. What?
I don't know.
Is that a direct quote? No. That is a quote that's going to go on.
It's also not true. I just said words. Who wants to see Sunset Boulevard?
Like, what a great... Who wants to see Sunset Boulevard? That is so... That statement is so, like, charged.
It really is. Well, there are moments in this...
Jane Austen died.
Ever since Jane Austen died, the British are like, what's a woman? But so... No, but it's that kind of... I would say it's that kind of silly pointedness that I think the title of the show does really well.
It's so true.
Also, on that note, let's take a break.
Billy, I beg to differ with you. How do you mean? You're the top. Yeah. You're an arrow collar. You're the top. You're a Coolidge dollar. You're the nimble thread of the...
And we're back.
back.
I forget that I have to do ad breaks.
Yeah, you have ad breaks.
She's on the network. She's
No, I love,
she's
and I
syndicated.
love the network you're on.
Broadway Podcast
I
Network.
love BPN, baby.
Yeah. Have you been on BPN before?
What do you mean?
Like, have you been on a podcast for BPN?
I don't know if I have before, but I just am
Well, so you've done putting it together. You've now done this. What other?
I've done a lot of podcasts.
You've done a lot of podcasts.
I've done a lot of podcasts.
Oh, am I not special anymore?
No.
Tom?
Oh, you're not. No, not
Oh.
at all. Oh, was that? I'm so sorry you're on it.
All by myself. So
Yes.
we were talking about sort of the silliness, reverence that title of the show has
Yeah.
for theater, which I love because it comes from a place of two men who adore Broadway.
So much.
Yeah, to the point that they're making Henry Sweet Henry jokes
Yeah.
and Doll's Life and what, baby? Yes, please, thank you.
Celsius. No, I'm okay. I've never drinking a Celsius. I'm too scared. I'm gonna love it too much.
Is there cocaine in Celsius or something?
Yeah, that's a little bit of it.
It's the third ingredient after
The third ingredient
tangerines.
after tangerines. Yeah, are you drinking a tangerine one? No, it's pineapple for the listeners.
A pineapple. Look out, boys.
Pineapple.
I was gonna make a sex joke, and you went back to Broadway.
I went back right back because I always find my way back.
To then. So, what?
Yes.
Okay, we could go on and on. There's no structure on this podcast, there is a structure in title of the show, but also I think the lack of structure is also its structure.
Oof,
what is a
beautiful.
song in title of the show that if someone was like, I don't know if I'll like it, how do I get into this? What would be the first song you would play for them?
Oh my god. Well, the answer can go so many ways. I would say. Okay. I would probably say Nine People's Favorite Thing just because like it features all four of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much the conceit of the show and like something I live by. So that is sort of, that's a really I think good jumping off point. I think A Way Back to Then does the same thing. But like Die Vampire Die is like I don't know it's a little bit. It feels like the comedic center of the show and establishes tone so much. And again, that balance that really, I feel like only those four can do what they do. And in balancing like sharp comedy and wit with so much heart. And it never feels sarcastic.
No, when they get to earnestness, they are very good about.
They can sit in it.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
have you seen their BCEFA,
My First Time.
My First Time.
Yeah.
It's genius.
Gorgeous.
Like, that is one of the best pieces of theater out, and no one knows what it is. I think it's the most genius. For the listeners at home, please look it up on YouTube. It's the four of them opened Gypsy of the Year, which I know that like we don't say that anymore. I don't know what it's.
I don't know
called
what we call it anymore,
but
yeah.
I apologize for. I should have.
Nah,
but
context. It used
context.
It used to be called
but
Gypsy of the Year.
it's in the it's in the title of the show. But the four of them come out and they talk about their first time seeing a Broadway show. And so Susan's is Angels in America, which isn't actually true, but it was like her second. But whatever.
Yeah.
So and then Jeff's was Annie, and then so they talk about how seeing a Broadway show for the first time and the way they balance like Annie and Angels in America and like weave them together is so genius.
Yes. I don't want to give too much away, but this was something that I forgot about and I died watching it again.
Yeah.
Is they have Susan and Hunter doing their narrating their stories, and
Yeah.
then Jeff and Heidi kind of give historical context and almost saying little bits sort of to weave throughout.
Yeah.
And when they start talking about the show, and they're like, oh, all the rich characters, and Jeff will list all of the Angels characters, and
Yeah.
Heidi lists all the
the-
Annie characters, and they go back and back. So she's like, the evil Miss Hannigan, the evil Roy Cohn,
Yeah.
so Esther Rosenberg, the orphan Pepper, and then Jeff goes, a leather daddy who wants to bareback Joe Mantello in Central Park, Molly.
Oh my god, it's required viewing for
It is.
those of you listening to this. But I love that we as soon as we start getting into the show, we like completely dodge it. We we can't get into the actual show.
Well, so I do want to say, I'm glad you said Die Vampire Die, because that
Yeah.
would probably be the song that I would introduce
Yeah.
people to, because it is very funny.
It's amazing.
And has a lot of the sort of pushing the boundaries, humor and language that the show does. And,
Yeah.
and explains why it kind of goes where it goes.
Yeah.
Because the whole point of a vampire is the doubts that live in your head,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or like the critics who live around you.
Yeah.
And it does tie into Nine People's Favorite Thing, which I also want to talk about because I love that song and I love its message. And it's not the song's fault, but it has become a bit of a double-edged sword to some creatives.
Oh, that like take the message too seriously?
Or kind of where it's like, I won't listen to people who give me
I
notes
see what you're
because
saying. I see
I'd
what
rather
you're
be
saying.
9 people's favorite thing.
Oh,
It's like, and it's
I see.
no.
You definitely have to ride the line. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Open to criticism.
exactly, and the whole point of the title of the show is like it is a collaboration of the 4 of them,
Yeah.
and it's not just like one person's vision.
Yes.
So it's more about like if you create something that you're proud of, and you really work hard to make it palatable, but also what you want it to be, and it ends up not being a 10-year run, but like the 9 people who know it love it dearly. That's great, as opposed to someone who's like, I have a vision, and I don't care what anyone says. Like that's
stick to it.
There's
Yeah.
There's a difference between ego and passion.
Oof, yeah, and you just have to, again, be like a conscious consumer of 9 people's favorite thing. Be like, you can't take that. You have to take it with a grain of salt.
Those 9 people will tell 9 people. Then we'll have 18 people loving the show. Then 18 people could grow into 525,600 people. All loving our show.
And maybe someday, if we're lucky enough, we'll all be in a studio recording the show.
And 10 years from now, when we play the cast album, this track on the CD will remind us why we'd rather be 9 people's favorite thing.
But so with Die Vampire Die,
Yes.
In the context of the show, so again, like the first half of the show, as it's in its final form, as it is now, leads up to them submitting to the festival. That's like, I would say, the first half is the having the idea and then the creating of it.
Yes.
And then the second half is it goes to the festival, it goes to Off-Broadway, and then them including the title of show. But as they're getting towards the final point of writing it, they do this dream sequence that kind of comes out of nowhere.
The flying sequence.
Yeah, the flying sequence with the British accents, and they finish, and they're like, "Why is this here?" And Hunter's like, "I don't know."
Yeah.
It's like, I had this idea at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know what to write. He's like, I'm trying to create some whimsy.
Yeah.
Like, we have all these, references to bagels and yachts from
Yeah.
Monkey and Playbills. He's like, it might be too niche. And Susan comes down, she goes, Die Vampire.
Yes.
And she talks about how the vampires are all forms of critics or self-doubt that you have or some people might inflict on you, and that will impede your ability to create.
Yeah.
And she lists them as they sort of sing about them, and it's funny for the first 80% of the song.
Yes, exactly.
We have the
Air freshener vampire.
Yeah, the air freshener vampire. Your grandma in her fat old fucking face. She doesn't want you to. She doesn't want you to speak about bad language, blood, or blowjobs. Yeah.
Yes.
But you'll have 2 tight paragraphs on
on
kittens that your grandma will be so proud of.
Yes.
The first one is the pygmy vampire.
Pygmy vampire. Swarm around your head like gnats and say things like,
Your teeth need whitening. You went to state school. I love the way that Heidi says,
you went to state school. Especially considering she went to Duke, like in real life.
I also love that the show gives all 4 of them opportunities to be weird and funny, but I digress.
Yeah.
And we have all these, moments, and then we get to the serious moment, which is the
Vampire of Despair.
Yes, wake you up at 1 a.m. and say to yourself, "Who do you think you're kidding?
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, you'll never be good. No matter how hard you try, you'll never be good enough.
Yeah, and Susan says very rightfully, like, if someone came up to me on the subway, I'd think they were, mentally ill asshole.
Yeah.
She goes, but if it's my vampire, it's the voice of reason.
Yeah.
Which, goddamn.
I mean, it's the crux of any creative ever, and
Yeah.
and it's so distilled in Die Vampire Die, and that's what they're so good at, is disguising something as comedy and then immediately just like getting you suddenly with oh my god, this is so profound, and then you sit in it for a second, like 2 seconds, and then it's
You have a story to tell. Pull your novel out of that sock drawer.
You have a painting to paint. You best paint it and then pay some more. Oh, baby, you must just...
they allow you to live in it for just long enough that it doesn't become preachy, but it's just like, here's a way to look at it that because if you look at your self-doubt and everything like as a physical form, like as a vampire, you can start defeating it.
Yeah.
Like you can kill a vampire, but when it's this amorphous thing that is all consuming, that's when it gets paralyzing. But I think that's what the image of a vampire, just hit the microphone, is why it's so effective, because it's physical and you can see it.
I named my depression Debbie.
Yes, Debbie.
Anytime Debbie comes to play, I'm like, fuck off, Debbie.
Yeah, like Debbie's here, and she might not leave.
She has her piece. She really wants to say it. And we let her say it. But that's, I mean, Debbie is a vampire as well. I mean, It's the idea of a vampire that I love. It's like, just because it's in your head doesn't mean it's true.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
a difference between, your thoughts and what the reality of the situation is. And it happens to all of us, whether you're creative, whether you're just a regular non-creative person. Not that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're a creative person or not creative person, you have a vampire, and that vampire will be the one that'll like live in your head at some point and just make you go, you're not good enough.
Yeah.
You'll never amount to anything. You don't have friends.
Yeah.
You're whatever. Like, no one will ever love you. Like, shit that. That we don't love to acknowledge that those thoughts exist.
Yeah.
We always want it to be like, it's peace and happiness. And
Yeah.
the community is so supportive, and it is, but they exist. And it's why it's always important to also have friends and collaborators and things like that to hold you accountable as well as hold you up, which is why when Jeff comes in with the "you have a story to tell," it always, like, I got very moved at the library watching it again, because
it's so amazing.
because it's just like, we do have stories to tell, and just because the vampires exist doesn't mean you can't kill them, and they will show up again. As the monsters always come out from under the bed, but like you killed it once, you can kill it again.
Yeah. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, and the harmonies are nice and tight.
Oh my god. Well, that's partly why I just love their music, and why I love both the title of show and then their following show, which is Now Hear This, which also had a run at the Vineyard. They know how to write for their voices so well, and like Jeff is all about a really good 4-part harmony, and I just love it. It's so satisfying, and all of their voices, like the way they meld together, they now have this like blend, and it's really, really, really satisfying to listen to.
Well, that is one of the reasons that Heidi does the show at the beginning. She talks about, because when we establish all the characters, Heidi is considered the only one who's like relatively successful as an actress.
She's in The Little Mermaid at the time. So she gets cast in it during the show.
Because that's what happened in life, was they did the show at the Vineyard, and then Mermaid happened in between Vineyard and Broadway.
That's what it is, yes.
And when it was at the Vineyard, what it was, the off-Broadway version was they were developing it for off-Broadway after the festival, and it was taking too long. Yeah. And she got offered a lead at a Goodspeed musical. And so she might take that instead, and that thing goes away and becomes Mermaid. Which in real life was never really a problem, because title show wasn't going to Broadway like in 5 seconds. It was going to take a minute.
It was going to take a while.
And once it did, Disney let her out of her contract to do it, and then when it closed, she was able to come back. That's one of those things where it's like the real story is actually so drama-free that it couldn't ever be in the show.
Exactly. But it's like, let's just like sprinkle a little spice on here.
And you just know that when it happened, Hunter was like, oh my god, we have something we can like put that
like, this is a source of contention for us.
Exactly. we can make it that. But she's working, she's auditioning. Like when we meet her, she's just come from a callback, and she doesn't book it because she doesn't fit the costume for Mamma Mia. And when Jeff is talking to her during the creative process before they submit it to the festival, he's like, thank you so much for doing this. Like, you've done so much Broadway, and I think in the script she says, like, I've done 2 shows. He goes, that's 2 more than any of us.
Yeah, that's 2 more than any of us. Yeah.
And what she says is like, I love this. I'm always having to fit someone else's mold, and this time I get to be the mold.
Not the smelly mold.
No. The mold.
The mold.
And she repeats it during the photo shoot. I'm the mold.
I'm the mold. Yes.
And it's a line that just kind of sticks with you if you are an actor or a writer, or like if you're an actor who's becoming a writer because you want to create stuff for yourself because you feel like you're not being properly represented by anyone else's writing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is that why I got into writing? No, it's not. I got into writing because I did an off-Broadway play at the St. Clements Theater called Daddy Issues. And I said to myself, there's got to be better stuff than this.
Oh, my gosh. Daddy Issues found dead.
Andrew Lloyd Webber and Daddy Issues found dead in the river.
Oh, my God, yeah. Wow.
And all British
in this episode.
And all British people.
Oh, my God, help.
No.
But, you're totally right. It's partly why I started doing the content creation of it all. I was like, this is a pandemic. I knew there wasn't going to be anything for me, so I was like, may as well start writing for me, and haven't really stopped. Yeah.
And we've all just been waiting for the day that you do.
Yeah, waiting for the day that you do. We're so fucking sick of you.
Oh my God, Tyler, when will you go away?
You go away for a fucking second.
Yeah. I've actually, you are someone who pops up a lot in my feed, and what I love about it is that it's always new shit. It's never like,
thank you. Thank you.
I didn't say it was all good.
No, yeah, I know, no, but I'll take new. I'll take it.
It's all new. No, it's random videos or photo shoots or you on the red carpet. I'm like, I love the variety. We want to keep variety.
Yeah, it's like a little charcut.
Yeah,
platter.
yeah. I feel like Instagram should be one of two things. It should either be a scrapbook, an honest scrapbook,
Yeah.
or it should be a platform for content creation. And if it's and if it's the latter, then you have to keep things spicy.
Keep things spicy, but it's tough. I mean, after over 3 years of doing this, like
Yeah.
I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna come up with another idea? You know, but that's sort of one of my vampires is like the well's dry, bitch.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing, and then just trusting that it's not. You know,
it's not. And I think the other vampire, and I've talked about this as well. Audra mentions this in Nothing Like a Dame, like waking up every day and going, is today the day that everyone decides I'm a fraud and it's over and it's done.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's like, no, and the truth is that if people found you and liked you, there's something about you and what you create in your voice that people are going to keep coming back towards.
Thank you.
And
I have to thank you for this.
well, I mean, but not just you, but like
the
all of us.
editorial you.
Yeah, the you, the title of shows is.
Yeah.
And I say this to all the listeners who want to make something and they think maybe they're not good enough or they're not famous enough or they're not whatever enough, and it's like, just start by creating something. Maybe your first thing will be bad.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone has that mulligan, right?
Yeah.
And
oh my gosh.
It's one thing I love about the Blank Check podcast where they cover movie directors. A lot of times, like, these directors, their first movie or two fucking suck.
Yeah, they're bad because
Yeah.
you have to be. I mean, but now, it was so much easier to be bad back then.
Sure.
But now, just like everything you make is in perpetuity, and that is scary and stressful. I understand that, but every single one of the people you admire started from somewhere, and it's so easy to forget that. But I mean, I just
But
was in my room.
but that's the beauty of TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff is that can be. If you don't have the opportunities to try and fail on Broadway as many times as maybe the greats did back in the 40s and 50s, you do have Instagram and TikTok for that purpose, right?
Yeah.
And if there's something that Title of the Show taught us is, take every opportunity you have and just fucking throw the spaghetti at the wall. And if one noodle sticks, come back for the next one and have 3 noodle sticks. That's
exactly.
And that is ultimately what Title of the Show was about. And you see this in the Broadway incarnation of Title of the Show, which is that, they do the festival, they do off-Broadway, which I think there was like a 2-year period in between those. I think
it was pretty significant. Because the time.
The festival was 2004, I want to say.
I think it was the 2004 festival.
No, wait, huh?
Right? Isn't that when it started?
No, I'm going to take that back. 2004 is
2006 festival.
2006, yeah. No, right? Sorry. So actually, no, it was a pretty quick turnaround. The only reason I know this is because they submitted to the King's Festival. Yes. And they do, I think it got accepted. Wait, sorry. Title show was conceived. No, it was 2004.
It was 2004.
It was 2004. The summer of 2004.
Because it was the first year of the festival.
Yes. And what happened was, so I guess Charlie Chaperone was in LA that summer, maybe.
Okay.
Because Heidi was not the first person who did it. Or at least she did it at New York Musical Theater Festival. But what happened was they did sort of like a lab of it, I guess, at Manhattan Theater Source, which was produced by Laura Camion, who, fun fact, has a podcast now with Susan Blackwell.
Called The Spark File. I love the podcast.
It's really good. And Susan just has the most soothing voice.
She's the easiest person to listen to, I think, ever. Same with Laura Camion, actually. They both have incredible voices, and it's all about, your Spark File is like what you would kind of stow things that inspire you, so that when you feel sort of uninspired, you can go into your Spark File and read articles, watch, content, whatever, that brings you, that sparks you. Yeah.
But so they did sort of like a lab of it, 3 performances of Title of the Show that summer before it performed at the festival. And it was an actress by the name of Stacia Fernandez, I don't know. And she ended up being Beth Level's understudy in Drowsy Chaperone.
Oh my gosh.
And I believe did that in LA first, and that's when Heidi swooped in.
Yeah.
But I don't know if, I would love to sit down with those 4 and figure that out, because it feels so specific to Heidi, and the turnover from Manhattan Theater Source to the Musical Theater Festival is so short that it's not like they rewrote the whole show for Heidi in a month.
Yeah.
I wonder if Heidi was unavailable for the 3 performances and they sort of tweaked it for Stacia.
I
for
wonder.
that.
Oh my god! It is a dream of mine to sit them at some point in my life, sit them down, the four of them, and do sort of a side by side with Susan Blackwell. Like we're all just
Yeah.
like drinking and talking and doing all of that.
I think this is the moment where you say into the mic that this is your official invitation to the four of them
This
to
is
do
my
it.
official invitation to Jeff Bowen, Hunter Bell, Susan Blackwell, and Heidi Blickenstaff, and let's throw Larry in there.
Yeah.
And Michael Bress. I would love to sit down now that it's been 15 years.
I guess so.
To just talk about, because I know there are so many people in the world. I mean, after seeing that 10-year reunion concert for the Actors Fund, for the Entertainment Fund now, it was a rock concert. It was this show touches so many people, and I know there's a lot of content. I think they maybe feel like, oh my god, there's so much content already with the title show, whatever. I'm like, no, because we don't know now. They're all, all their careers are doing other things.
Yeah.
I want to know, like, how often do you think about this show? Like, how much I have a lot of questions for them. So this is my official invitation.
Yes. I would like to be in the room at
Great.
the very least, because you said throw in Michael Buress, and I would love to have Michael Buress thrown into me.
Oh my god.
He was definitely a sexual awakening of mine.
Michael is so. I mean, Jeff and Michael are a power couple. In my opinion.
1,000%.
And no one talks about it. I'm like, no, Jeff
they're
and Michael.
They're very quiet about it.
They're super quiet about
I
it.
didn't know that they were together until the closing performance of Title Show on Broadway.
Got it.
Because and when the show wrapped up, and talk about a rock concert, that final performance was a rock.
I mean, I bet when
concert.
they post the closing notice, I bet it was really
Well, so it
emotional.
was it's one of those final. I've been to only two closing performances on Broadway: Grey Gardens and Title of the Show.
Oh my god!
I know.
The dynamic duo. Come on.
I'm a fag.
Yeah, for sure.
But they were very respectful rock concerts, because when there was time for applause, everyone went insane.
Of course.
But it wasn't like, when Leah Michelle's in Funny Girl and everyone's screaming over the
you
notes.
can't hear anything.
Yeah, no, everyone's like, no, I want to hear it all.
Oh, of course. Especially considering it's a keyboard. Like,
Yes, exactly. You got to hear it.
You can easily drown out the show.
When the show begins, because it begins with Jeff and Hunter facing
Yeah.
front in the darkness, and so the applause was such that, like, it took a minute before they could begin.
Of course.
And then Heidi and Susan came on for so we'll get a bunch.
Yeah.
They got applause, but it was like a very loud.
like,
yeah, exactly.
All our friends. You just want to hear everything.
And then Susan's Die Vampire got a big round of applause.
Course.
And then Jeff started. Everyone was very calm for most of the final performance until Nine People's Favorite Things.
Oh.
Because then Jeff started to do the I'd rather be
Yeah,
Nine People's, and he started to cry.
Yeah.
And he had to, like, stop himself.
Yeah.
But the entire audience, like, gave him a little whoop of, like, you can do
can
it.
do it.
Yeah. So then the show ends, and it's all great, and then Michael Buress comes on to talk about it. He says, this experience was so great, blah, 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 and, like, to work on this show I love so much, and spend every day with my boyfriend, and everyone kind of chuckles because we all know, but no one's saying it, and then Jeff just points at himself and mouths, I'm his boyfriend. and then they kiss, and we were like, yes, they're kissing.
So
but
precious.
Michael Buress and Kiss Me Kate was a very big sexual moment for me.
Oh, sure.
When
by all means.
Yeah.
He's such a talented performer as well as a director.
Well, yeah. Well, he doesn't do that much directing, I don't think, anymore.
I don't
Or does
know.
he?
I mean,
He should.
I consider Now Hear This and Title Show like so brilliantly directed.
But absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm like, you're
what
such a
I'm
good
saying
director.
Yeah, I'm like,
I don't know
do
if he
more.
does a
He should.
lot.
He should, because also I'll say his choreography for Title of the Show is fucking great.
It's so like pedestrian meets like, but it's so effective.
It's very clean.
It's the cleanest thing ever,
Yeah.
and it's more about that. Like,
Yeah.
and there's no frill, but it's very tight.
I have been very open about some of the choreography on Broadway in the past, and I don't have to go into specifics for this episode. If you want to hear specifics, listen to past episodes. But I have an issue with a lot of modern day Broadway choreography where it does rely on tricks and flips. And
It's a lot of. It's like you're paying for the ticket.
Yeah.
You better get
thrown it all out
fire.
at you. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's very hot feet.
Yeah.
But But I'm like, but where's sort of the precision and where's the build and
Yeah.
the inventiveness? And Michael's choreography and title of the show, like, there's no splits or high kicks.
No.
But it's impressive because it's very precise, it's very story character based, and also very inventive and clever and funny.
Yes.
And just works so well. And I mean, his fucking staging of September Song, aka the festival medley, is
my
incredible,
God.
including what I'm pretty sure is a reference to Dreamgirls when Susan and Heidi are sitting at their chairs, and it's like a dressing table backstage as
Oh my
Hunter and
God.
Jeff are doing.
It's-
Yeah, it's I don't want to get too in the weeds because I could talk about all the Susan Blackwell line deliveries from the cast album in the show in general.
Can't you see that I'm dying inside?
Yep. But also when she was like, she goes, I like doing the show.
I like doing the show with
It
you
balances
guys.
out my day job, which is
It's
killing me softly. It's killing me softly. I wrote this song sitting at my desk today.
I'd like to sing it for you now.
For you now.
Can't you see that I'm dying inside? Can't you see that I'm dying inside? If you shine a flashlight in my butt, you'd see I'm dying inside.
Are we riding for? Are we riding for?
Inside. Festival medley.
When they do that final, the inside,
Yeah.
they are, Jeff and Hunter turn around and grab the chairs, and Heidi and Susan both reach their arms out in the final inside as the
God.
chairs pull back.
Oh,
And I'm
so
like,
that's easily-
I'm like, that's
and I'm
Jennifer
telling
Holiday
you.
and Dreamgirls.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's so fucking quick.
But that's because you take the actual meat of the show, like the score and the book, and then you have someone like Michael who understands it on such like a profound level that visually all he does is enhance it and make sure that it all is tight. Like the visual language of the show, because it's so sparse, had to be that, and Michael completely delivered. And I'm just like so impressed by the
Oh, yeah.
show because it easily could not have been that, but
Yeah.
it was so genius to be able to be, you know, as amazing as it was with as little, like with limitation comes creativity.
Yeah.
And oh my God, did they have limits?
We've talked about it all the time on this podcast when creatives have talked about this, you know, with TV and film and whatever. When they have boundaries, you actually get more creative because when the whole world is your resource, it's like you get crippled. It's
Yeah,
like,
you
what
just
the fuck do we do?
throw crap at stuff.
But I think that would be my ultimate, my two things I would say to people who are doing a production to title a show. A is pacing, keep it moving, keep
Oh
it
my
moving.
God, yes.
Yeah.
Please.
Don't over emote or over exaggerate the comedy. Like the comedy lives in just how natural everybody is. If you watch a video of the original four, no one is pushing. They're just
They're completely living in it.
Especially because it's so much of it is just silly humor.
Yeah.
You just live in it. And then also like choreography wise, don't be afraid to like make it show busy.
Yeah.
Have fun with imagery. I mean, some of the choreography has nothing to do with four people in a room with chairs. It's just like full blown musical theater.
Yeah.
Iconography.
Yeah.
Think of, you know, 1960s tight choreography for Die Vampire Die. You know, Heidi, Jeff, and Hunter are singing backup, so they're being the
We'll
dreamettes.
sing back up.
Yeah.
And like it's very controlled.
Je suis whore.
Je suis whore.
There's a little bit of French in this show, just all throughout.
Soissons.
Yeah. Hey, Soissons. I also love.
Heidi. Oh my God, I love the way.
Et Heidi. She seems so je ne sais quoi. She seems so incroyable, and I feel so bourgeois. That's just moi. Are we gonna? It's just. So I think what we need to do.
What do we need to do?
We have to do two productions of the title of the show.
2.
One where we do the True West, John C. Reilly, Philip
Where
Seymour
we
Hoffman,
just
flip flop
flip.
as Hunter
I'm
and Jeff.
so much more of a Jeff than I am a Hunter.
And see, I think I have the energy of a Hunter, but I also I would prefer to sing Jeff because it's
lower.
yes. But I can sing Hunter. I'm like okay, I have to pull the Leah Michelle. I'm not drinking alcohol.
Yeah,
this
yeah,
week.
exactly. Yes, precisely. Yes.
But then we have to then do a second production where we inverse the genders and we have our female friends play Jeff and Hunter and we play Susan and Heidi.
but of course.
And we'll flip flop that as well.
I really do. A lot of people are like, "Oh, what shows do you really want revived?" And my answers to those questions for the longest time were Merrily We Roll Along and Parade. And now, like, both of them are happening, so I'm like, I have to change my answer.
Yeah.
But Title of Show is one of them because I really think that the four of them would be down not to maybe be in it and then do it again, but to write a version of it that is also self-aware in the fact that it's like us playing like people, that kind of thing. And I would be dying to do it.
Yeah,
like a limited. Even if Encores did Title of Show, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm like, put me in, coach. I want to be Jeff so badly.
Totally. Well, yeah, I think that would be interesting to ask Hunter and Jeff to come back to the material and see if they can tweak it in ways where it's because they mentioned in the show, what do we do when people play us?
Yeah, and then it's like, and then you,
or it's like, do we change our names? Like, because
Yeah.
eventually someone's going to play us or like understudies or anything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And they have a whole episode about that in the Title of the show.
Yes.
Which is iconic. But I wonder if there's like, in the way that Michael Bennett, when he was going to make a chorus line a movie.
Yes.
What he was going to do is essentially what became Every Little Step, which was like, what if I make a movie about people making a movie of a chorus line?
Yeah.
And I wonder if like Jeff and Hunter would come back to the title of the show and go, okay, let's tweak this and make it about people putting on a production of the title of the show. So it's
like maybe they would,
yeah.
you know?
So it's like 85% the original material with little pieces
with little bits of like all of a sudden we're doing this in 2023. It's not
Yeah.
2008, you know, that kind of thing.
And we're actors who are not Hunter, Jeff, Heidi, and
Yeah.
Susan having to be Hunter, Jeff, Heidi, and Susan.
I think it's really inside baseball, which is why I think like if it's a really, really limited, like an Encore's run of it, where the people in that audience, a lot of them are going to know, you know, what's going on. I think it would be incredibly like profound.
Yeah.
I want to do it so bad.
I mean, that's something that they were dinged for originally when it was moving to Broadway. I don't know if you like read any of the reviews at the time.
I'm sure I did in high school when I was researching.
They were pretty well received at the Vineyard.
Yes.
And then they moved to Broadway, and I remember like the New York Times was really still the only paper that really loved it, and even then Charles Isherwood was like, I don't know, that whole third act where they're like, what does fame mean? What's success mean? He's like, I don't like that part. I'm like, okay, Queen, work it, Queen. But
Work
like,
it, Queen.
the Post gave them 1 star, and they're like, oh my god, this like circle jerk of a musical where like they're basically just entertaining themselves. And there were a lot of people on the web who felt that way, where it's like, this show isn't really a show because it's just for people who make each other laugh. I'm like, but that's what niche is, right?
Yeah, that's such a lazy critique of the show.
Yeah.
You don't need to like the show, but saying something like that, I'm like, oh, great. You
Yeah.
know, you're not adding anything to the conversation.
No.
Because it is a musical. There's
Yeah.
there's an original score, and they're acting like it's the first meta thing ever. And
No.
I'm like, they didn't invent meta theater.
No.
Like, you know.
It is a very self-aware musical. Listen, if you go into like the nitpicks, like are there like maybe 1 or 2 fourth wall breaks that I would cut myself? Like, yes, but that's also because I think fourth wall breaks in general are more of a spice than an ingredient in a show.
Sure.
Like I'm like, you get 2, maybe 3 if
Got
you're
it.
lucky. If it's a 4-act musical, you get 3.
Yeah, you get.
And like every now and then I'm like, oh, we don't need. I mean, we don't. I always love an Into the Woods reference. I'm like, do we need 6? We could probably cut it down to 5.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because they really were. They're like, we don't want to do a reference. They don't want to pander and do a reference to Les Mis or Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
And what's funny is that Into the Woods, I think, would, if they were writing it now, would be one of those musicals.
Yeah.
But I think maybe at the time it wasn't. I don't know.
It was Into the Woods was still very much like the holy grail for theater kids, but it
Yeah,
wasn't.
it didn't breach quite yet like the
It wa-
zeitgeist in general. But now
Yeah.
there's the movie. There's this really successful revival.
Yeah,
you know.
people know it far more now.
Yeah.
Or at least I should say the normies know it
The
far more now.
normies know it.
Yeah, but like we have the Festival of the Kings festival,
Yeah.
and then we have the I Need Your Shoe, and then
I Need Your Shoe.
and then also when they're about to submit it and they're playing the famous Into the Woods
Don't
chorus.
say that, of course
you were meant to have children. Yep.
Genius.
I just think the whole thing came from Susan Blackwell being like, I'll never get to play the baker's wife on Broadway. Can you give me 2 lines?
Give me some Into the Woods.
Give me some Gleason.
Give me some Gleason. I mean, they're all friends. You know, they love Joanna Gleason.
Well, and that's sort of what I love about the song. Part of it all is they talk about how they want to be in the community, because like I think one of those things that is really tricky to gauge with Broadway, and I'm sure you know this as well. I would say we're both relatively in the sausage now of the Broadway community. Sure. You definitely more than me, but but like we've seen some shit with it. We've seen some shit. We know some people. We've met some people, and for everything that makes us go like, oh my god, it's just like I dreamed. There's something where you're like, huh, not exactly how I imagined it.
Sure.
We don't have to go into deets, but it's like every industry that exists.
Yeah, you're all of a sudden in the circle, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is it.
Yeah. And I think the only way to really survive it is to, like Heidi, remind yourself a way back to then, but also like not take yourself and it so seriously. Of like, like sometimes it's ridiculous and weird and like sometimes toxic, but then also it can be amazing. And that's what I love about the energy of Jeff and Hunter. I was about to say Jeff and Bowen.
Jeff and Bowen. Oh my gosh.
No, of Jeff and Hunter as they wrote it it's very like they love Broadway while also recognizing all the craziness about it.
Which is my content. That is literally my content.
Yeah.
Like it's the exact same conceit.
Yeah.
Like I love it so much that I'm able to see the weird, strange, almost embarrassing parts of what we do, and I'm able to poke fun at them because it comes from a place of pure 100% love, and
Absolutely.
that's exactly what they do.
It's not punching down, it's a funhouse mirror.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Aren't you so glad we met today?
So glad.
I get you, baby.
I get you.
But yeah, I mean, when they sing Part of It All, or like they make jokes about Betty Buckley being a hot box of crazy.
Oh my god.
Or the
Like
D.
Mary
Hody
Stout getting hit by a hot dog cart.
Z. Hody in Whorehouse Goes Public.
Oh my god.
She's like, I'm simply so sorry I keep getting nominated for music musicals that nobody likes. This, Footloose, whatever.
Everybody cut.
I don't know if I'm speaking out of school. Who fucking cares? So I saw Dee Hoty do Cinderella at Paper Mill.
Nice. Was
Sure.
that kind of recently?
It was like 4 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it feels recent.
Well, yeah, it was right before COVID.
Yeah, that's right.
I was trying to date somebody in the cast.
Oh my God.
Well, yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. We were kind of starting to date, but he
Great.
wouldn't go further. But he was like, I'll absolutely get you a comp to the show I'm in, and like you can ride in the van with us back.
Oh, that's nice. You don't
Yeah.
have to take NJ Transit.
Yes,
I was just there yesterday seeing Rent.
Booking a tour afterwards and not telling me, and then just fully ghosting off to Canada is not
Oh my
as nice.
God.
But
Oh my
but we don't have to
God.
go there. Point is, we're in the van. He's driving, so I can't really talk to him.
Driving the van?
Yeah, so that's
Oh, amazing.
yeah. Oh no, they don't have like drivers for Paper Mill. It's,
I didn't realize that.
yeah. You get paid extra if you're a van.
Oh, I'll
driver.
totally drive the van.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's how they get you to do it. They're like, you get an extra $100. So he did it. I was like, okay, cool. Like that makes sense. But like, I guess I'll just sit here and talk to Dee Hoty.
Yes.
And it was lovely. We started talking and like, oh, my dad is a huge Follies nerd and like we love you in the cast recording. So she's like, oh my God, thank you so much. And like I'm kind of going down the list. I'm like, Will Rogers Folly. She's like, oh my God, such a blast. And I'm like
resume.
I'm like Bright Star. She's like, oh, easy. And
Yeah.
but then I go, and I was like at opening night of Gigi, and she goes, those were some beautiful gowns.
Oh my God, the tea. I'm also a Follies super freak.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. That's what you're on this podcast for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, Follies. Ooh, Follies.
Yeah, but when they do Part of It All, and it's
That song, I'm doing a solo show next summer, and I'm not next summer, as in next month, this summer, in less than a month. And I am including, I was like, I really want to include a song. We're gonna do Two Nobodies, but Part of It All like speaks to me a little more.
Yeah.
Because it's like, part of Lunch with Bernadette, and it's like all of that was so me in high school, and now I sort of feel a little bit like a part of it all, and it's really profound listening to that song now because it captures so accurately what I was feeling in high school and college. Like I just wanted to be a part of this community.
Yeah.
And but Two Nobodies is a little bit more fun to listen to.
Sure.
So I was like, okay.
Part of It All. I mean, the line "all our gay skills filling playbills."
All our gay skills filling playbills. Genius.
Genius lyric. Jeff has some really fucking good lyrics in the show.
I mean, he's not messing around. Like
He is
he's
not.
Like, so
He's
smart.
like, I have seen Michael Breast naked on multiple
Oh
occasions.
my God.
I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing.
Monster to my right. No, but seriously, like, oh God, part of it all.
What's so funny is that song ends up being a premonition because they talk about doing a photo shoot for a fancy gay magazine, which Jeff ends up doing
Yes,
when
he
they move
does
to
it.
Broadway,
Yeah.
and they have lunch with Bernadette, and they even mention this in the Broadway version where they're like, it's so weird to sing a song about having lunch with Bernadette, and she's sitting
She's
right
there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I also love in the Broadway version as they're talking about the off-Broadway run, and they talk about how Kitty Carlisle Hart
Kitty
was at
Carlisle
the show.
Hart.
And Susan says, oh, let me tell you what she said to me. She comes backstage and she goes to Heidi and she goes, where did you get that beautiful voice? And then she turns to me all Kitty Carlisle Hardy and she says, how do you keep your feet so clean?
Oh,
And what's also
genius.
funny about that is, I mean, Susan's, I think, barefoot most of the
She's
show.
barefoot almost the whole time.
Yeah. So, like, it's not a
I think
bad,
maybe the whole time.
Yeah, it's not an off question.
No, it's so true. Like you're on a stage, like a dirty Broadway stage.
Yeah.
And your feet are spotless.
Yes. And Kitty Carlisle Hart knows what's up.
Yeah. No, exactly. It's actually a really astute thing to ask.
Yeah, she knows exactly what to
Yeah,
say.
and then Susan Blackwell is so thrilled that she asks. it.
Yeah, that's a story for the ages.
For the ages, and now it's in the show.
On that note, let's take one last break.
Thank you, break.
Really, I beg to differ with you.
How do you mean?
You're the top.
Yeah.
You're an arrow color. You're the top. You're a Coolidge dollar. You're the nimble tread of the feet.
And we're back.
And we're back.
So, I mean, we've both talked and not talked about the show, which I think is
I know.
very
Should we just like
kind of
really
show.
let's get into it?
Okay,
maybe?
yeah. So, what is a moment of the show that you really treasure? That
Oh my
like,
God.
I mean, I'm sure there are many, but
There's
like
so
first
many.
thing that come to mind.
First thing comes to mind. Oh my goodness. Probably there's two that come to mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's the scene going into way back to then.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of the resolution, the denouement, so to speak, after the big conflict, and it's so tender and done so concisely, like, because these four have a connection that, like, a friendship, a true friendship, not one that can be completely destroyed based on like a bad photo shoot.
Yeah.
But the whole the conflict resolution, and because this is how I am with my friends. It's like if there's some sort of, anger or frustration there, both parties always come to each other being like, we're good. And that's what it feels. And then we jump into Way Back to Then, and the three of them just watch as Heidi sings it, and it's so tender, and it is very quick in the script. So I kudos to them, because the resolution of that conflict is very concise, but it's also how friends deal with it. And I that was so much fun doing every night, and watching my friend Maggie sing Way Back to Then as we just like sat and got to listen. It was a dream. But also the very, very end of the show, so post 9 People's Favorite Thing, and they're just standing being like, so how do we end it? It's so like, oh, it's the end of the road, oh, what a long road we hoed, now we have to let go, this is the last line of our show. And it's like, so they could have easily just ended with 9 People's Favorite Thing, had it be like a button and everyone just applauds, but that wouldn't be title of show. Like it's so about like, okay, we just wrote a finale, and now what? And it's like, let's just step off. And it's so tender, and I have chills talking about it. And again, it's one of those things, it can sit in an earnest place without an ounce of sarcasm, and it's a testament to the four of them. I think, and it's something I strive for, to never lose honesty, and even no matter how crazy the comedy is, to always have the heart, and that's what they are. And I think they really did that again with Now Hear This, of course with less critical success, because it was more of a swirl off, is what they called it, of title of show. But I mean, I think it also has that too, and those are the two moments that come to mind.
Those are great moments. What I love about Way Back to Then is that it is sort of like a reboot for most artists of why do we do it?
Yeah.
It's not, no matter what anyone says, no one truly had like the calling of, I am the artist and I must make the art.
Yeah.
It was a passion and a joy and a love that came at some point in your youth that stayed in you and sprouted into something greater. And then, as we've mentioned, this business is hard, and not everyone cleans their own house, and therefore like they will lash out in ways in the creative process, which is already very vulnerable and rough, that will make it not the most fun. And you sometimes lose sight of what it is that got you into doing this in the first place. And that song Way Back to Then is Heidi singing ultimately what she talks to Jeff about earlier about I'm now the mold for this role, but it's also like I found the joy that I had when I was a child wanting to do this and making this piece that means so much to me, but it's also just full of love. It's so pure and it's so earnest. And honestly, so many musical theater songs that are like pure and earnest can be a little eye-rolly. So the fact that this one, and I think this one isn't, and I think it's the specificity of it all.
That's what, because it's the imagery. It's dancing in the backyard, Kool-Aid mustache and butterfly wings. Hearing Andrea McArdle sing from the Hi-Fi in the Den.
Yep.
That, I remember like moms coming up to me after title show being like, was me. Like that was, it was, and it's such a good thing to remember as someone who writes now. Like the more specific you can get, the better and clearer the image will be. And the way she says, I've been waiting my whole life to find a way back to then. Because, she's performing, but in the show, she's a little disillusioned with it. She's tired. And she doesn't get the assistant stage manager track or whatever, because she doesn't fit the costume. Like, she is a little bit, frustrated, as all of them are with the industry. So the fact that, you watch a character find that for herself, and she's obviously singing on behalf of all four of them, is such a good way to 11 o'clock number the show. And it's it's amazing.
Well, because you think about where they all are when the show begins. They definitely all look at Heidi as the most successful, and she is in the respective theater.
Sure.
But Susan, actress writer who hasn't been auditioning in a very long time,
working in a corporate job.
Jeff works for a website, hasn't performed in a while. Jeff hasn't performed in a while. He's doing catering gigs. Hunter's doing catering gigs. Jeff is working for a website. And they're doing what they can to survive, and while Heidi might be doing like the most glamorous version of that in terms of acting, it's still tough because she's going from job to job, and yes, she is working and she's able to support herself, but she's not overly successful. She's not able to pick roles. She has to go in and hope that she can fit
Yeah,
something.
she's like, oh, if it doesn't interfere with roller skating eel rehearsal, I'm in. You know,
Yeah.
like that's her reality. Not to say that that's not incredible and amazing, but you know, she's doing the work. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, so the thing when they included the Little Mermaid stuff, because Heidi books
Yeah.
Broadway in real life, and they include that in the Broadway version. Having never met Heidi, but having known a few people who did that production
Yeah,
of Little
yeah.
Mermaid, it's one of those things where, again, with this industry, because it's so tough and jobs are rare, and when you book something, you are grateful for the work
Of
and being
course,
something to
yeah.
do. But I mean, we've talked about this on the pod before. Like, would you rather be in a show that artistically isn't fulfilling, but is such a wonderful process because like the people are
Yeah.
nice, or a show that's kind of a nightmare process, but it's a show that like fulfills your artistic soul?
Yeah, it's. I think it's the age. It's a forever question.
Yeah.
and you just hope that you have both experiences.
Yeah.
you don't have to choose.
And from what I understand, for that cast, for most of that cast of Mermaid,
Yeah,
was that
yeah.
it was a good experience in the sense that like everyone got along pretty well.
Yeah.
But everyone was very aware that they were doing the Little Mermaid on
Yeah,
wheelies. And like
yeah.
no one gets into this business. Like no one watches Sunday in the Park with George on PBS
God.
in 1984
Oh my
and going, one day
Yeah.
I will play a roller skating eel.
Eel. Yeah, you know, it's a good reminder that like being on Broadway means so many different things.
Yeah, and like you can be grateful for the job while also kind of, you know, saying like, but this isn't totally what I want.
Yeah.
Like Audrey even says this. Like she has an interview, I think it's the Interviews interview actually, where they talked about like, well, tell us about your Broadway debut. And she goes, well, I was doing the tour of Secret Garden and I go to close out the show.
Yeah.
So like my Broadway debut was like the last 4 months of Secret Garden, and
Yeah.
and like she's like I tried really hard to convince myself at the time that it was magical because I was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm on Broadway with Rebecca Luker and I'm singing Hindu. It's
Yeah,
not
oh my
quite
God,
the debut
yeah,
I
that's right.
imagined, but like I'm here.
Yeah.
And then she says no, like Carousel was the one where it actually
Of
felt
course.
like the
I mean,
magic
of
one.
course, yeah.
But that doesn't, you know, negate her experience with Secret Garden. And with Heidi, you know, even though Mermaid is a gig and it's good money and
Yeah.
and I'm sure it was a lovely time for everyone.
Yeah.
Like when she's talking about like coming back to Broadway after doing Full Monty, she's not thinking to herself like, I will understudy Sharon A. Scott and I will be in Wheelies and it'll
Yeah,
be
yeah.
fine. Like it's title of the show is that return I think she really
Yeah,
wants.
exactly.
And I think that, and she's allowed to have that complaint because we're
Yeah.
all human beings.
Yeah.
But that's something that they all kind of discuss as the show gets bigger and closer to being something.
Yeah.
And that ultimately is what makes Hunter in that third act of the show not a monster, but like you see where
he's
his
the one. He's the one that begins to stray from what the four of them set out to do,
Yes.
in search of, you know, commercial success.
he starts driving the manic train.
Yeah, exactly.
And it comes from a very real place of having struggled for so long and something finally is clicking.
Yeah.
And it could go away at any moment.
Yeah, you see his desperation, and it always makes sense. You're never like, God, Hunter's such a dick. Like
Yeah.
you completely understand where he's coming from. It's all he's ever wanted.
Yeah. It was one of my major points of contention with Kinky Boots is that for me Charlie just makes such a heel turn in Act 2 for no reason.
Heel turn. That's funny.
That's what it is.
No, but that's like, it's clever because sex is
Oh.
heel. Did you even know? Did you
No.
even get that? A heel turn. I was like, no, that's clever.
Thank you. I am so smart. I don't even realize how smart I am.
Oh my God,
Is
the cross you bear. Yeah.
I know. It's why my torso is just so great.
Yes.
No, but I always was like, oh, he kind of does a 180 during intermission that we never really got to see.
Oh, sure.
And Hunter, like, you see why it happens, and he doesn't go so far off in the deep end that you're like, this monster, but
Yeah.
you know what's happening to him, because I think we've all had that where, like, something clicks, or you hope to have it,
Yeah.
where something clicks, and you can see the opportunity right there,
Yeah.
and it's so within reach, and anytime it starts to slip away, you get a little
Yeah,
panicked
of
and a
course.
little insane, and it goes even further in the Broadway version, because with the Broadway version, they have the festival, they get the praise, and then they get to go to off-Broadway pretty quickly, and they
Yeah.
get to do all these developments, and then it sort of calms
There's
down.
like a wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just a.
There's a lull.
A lull.
And this wasn't in the Vineyard version, and I'm glad they included it, which was like once Vineyard, the 2 stints at Vineyard
Yeah.
were over, there's like a year pause.
Yeah.
Susan's
They're just
back,
waiting for the phone to ring.
Yeah, Susan's back at her temp job, Heidi's auditioning, and they're not seeing each other as much because
Yeah.
they gotta keep working.
Yeah.
And that's what causes Hunter to start doing the title of the show.
Yeah.
Which is, if this show is gonna go anywhere, I gotta make it myself.
Yeah.
I can't keep waiting for the phone to ring. And they make jokes about it in the actual title of the show where like the whole Are They Going to Broadway rumors started just from them going on YouTube and going
and being like, we're going to Broadway.
We're going to
yeah,
Broadway.
They just like the manifesting of it all. Like
Yeah.
it really was manifesting in its purest form.
and starting to create content that people were interested in because it got people talking about them and using the internet for good
Because news outlets started being like, oh, it is Broadway. Is title of show going to Broadway? Like
Yeah.
people would be writing articles and they'd be like he he.
and then they would repost the articles.
Exactly.
And people who lived in Indiana or Arizona who love theater but don't go to New York very often, who didn't know of Title of Show.
Oh yeah.
See about it on Broadway World and on YouTube, and then like they make it a point if it goes to Broadway to come see it
Yep.
when they go to New York. So it was all very, very smart, but also just came out of pure passion and like, no, we are going to manifest this ourselves.
And the way they corralled their Broadway fans, like
Yeah.
the episode where it's like, oh, should we get like stars? Should we get cameos? And they like become like Kelly O'Hara is Jeff. Like it's that kind of to feel the love from your favorite Broadway people like that. Oh God, it's just so smart and got everyone so excited. And
and there are some people in that celebrity video that do voicemails in the show.
Yes.
Although I was looking at the script, the published script doesn't have most of those voice messages, which is upsetting to me.
It's the one they keep is Sutton Foster.
As well you should.
Yeah.
Because Sutton, first of all, plot device, but also
Plot device. Well,
Sutton
it wasn't
Foster.
actually Sutton Foster. In real life, it wasn't. It was a different actress.
well in real so that was like an actual thing. Was that a
So they were thinking of replacing Heidi. Yes.
Oh, I did not know about
Oh,
that.
no, that's real. And Hunter told me that. I'm not going to like say what actress it is because I think he maybe told me that in confidence. But there was talk of replacing Heidi, and it wasn't actually going to be Sutton Foster.
No, at the Vineyard, it's Emily Skinner.
So yeah, it is Emily Skinner.
Okay, great. so then they kept the voicemail.
So they kept So Emily Skinner was initially the person that I think they were thinking of, because she is a little bit like more similar to Heidi in terms of like general vibe, than Sutton is. But they made it Sutton Foster probably to take the sting out, right? Because
probably take this thing out, and also when they moved to Broadway, because one of the things in Charles Isherwood's review for Off Broadway was he mentions that the whole like Emily Skinner voice message. He was like, I know that's a deep cut because many of you won't know who Emily Skinner is.
Oh,
and so I think when they moved to Broadway, like we need to make it someone a little more
just undeniably Broadway
that everyone in the audience will know who it is. And so they make it Sutton. But the running joke is in both versions, Off Broadway and Broadway, is that they have all these voice messages from actresses who they like randomly reached out to be in Title of the Show, and they're all saying no in very different ways. Yeah, and there are some that changed from Off Broadway to Broadway. It's not in the published script, unfortunately. No, but there are so many great ones. So like they have Victoria Clark does one, and she says, "I'm so sorry, I can't. I'm busy." And you think she's gonna say like all the shows she's busy with, but it's just like she's busy being a mom. So she's like talking about all the things she has to do for her kid, and gets cut off. They have one where Maren Maisie, R.I.P. She burps in the middle of hers.
Yes. Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah. Carrie Butler is so good at the like sweet plastic mean girl thing. Yeah. She's like, thank you so much. Yeah. I would totally do it, but I'm booked. I'm so sorry. And you just know she doesn't mean it. Yeah. And then Amy Spenger did one that Amy Spenger did one, I think, for New York Music Theater Festival that then became Christine Ebersol at the Vineyard and Broadway, where she was like, thank you so much. How did you get my number?
Yeah, yeah, so smart.
So smart. And then Broadway, they added one for Patti LuPone where she was like, thank you for asking me to be in your show, I guess. And she pretty much just like, I'm absolutely not going to do it.
Yeah, like, no way.
I'm not even going to lie to you and say I'm busy. I'm not doing this. And also, please don't ask me to record Rainbow High for your outgoing voice messages.
Oh my
I won't
God.
do that either.
It's just so good.
Yeah.
Oh my
and then
God.
it all results with Sutton Foster / Emily Skinner.
Yeah, being like, hey, actually, I would love, if Heidi, I don't know if Heidi's like in the show, but I would love to, let's talk.
Yeah. And that, I did not know that was a real thing.
Yeah, I bet it wasn't as like, I bet they didn't go as far, but I do think it was, floated around.
Yeah, because the way it's described in the show is that they don't say yes, but more that like Hunter is very seriously considering it. Yeah. Especially because Heidi, of the four of them, because she gets the most work, she's the most likely to not be able to follow through with the show because the development is taking so long. And when they do, it's the awkward photo shoot, and Heidi drops the bomb where she goes, so when these packets go out, are you going to be able to use them?
Replace me with Sutton Foster.
Replace me with Sutton Foster. And
It's like, oh.
and then the only lyrics are just awkward photo shoot.
Click, click.
Click, click. And then, all the dialogue in between.
Yeah.
Susan going, I'm giving you broken doll.
I'm giving you broken doll.
Yeah, which is very big spender.
Or when she's like, I think this is a good time to talk about like
the pie.
how we're gonna be compensated for
Yeah.
our work, and then Jeff is like, oh yeah, Susan, this is a perfect time to talk about profit sharing.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's
But
so
it's like,
good.
yeah, it's like the messy stuff you kind of do have to figure out when you're making something.
Because it's one of those things where you're like, I don't want this to feel like it's all about money, but like we did make this show with
so
you.
it's like, and the money is going to be a conversation to be had.
Yeah, and if we are going to remain friends, we have to be honest about like what we all are entitled to.
Yeah.
Entitled to show to. But
Entitled of show.
yes. I'm trying to think of anything else. I mean, I
About
could
the
go
show. I mean, I could literally, I could talk about
Yeah.
this for a million years.
Monkeys and Playbills.
Monkeys and Playbills, so genius.
and ridiculous.
It's, oh my god, and when I did it, because we didn't have any like projections or anything, I did print out every single like cover of a playbill, like made fake playbills and then held up every single one. I think a lot of people do like some of them, but
Yeah.
we really made
Yeah.
it happen.
Yeah, off Broadway, they only do I think like half of them, enough to show you that
Yeah.
like they are including flop shows, and then on Broadway they did projections.
They
of
did
all
projections,
of them.
yeah.
Of all of them, which I appreciated because it also gives you insight into just how clever the lyrics are because so many shows are in there.
I know, and you would miss some
lot
of
of
them.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they fit so beautifully in the narrative that they're creating. But no, really, all Jeff and Heidi are just almost exclusively singing show titles. in
Pretty
that song.
much, yeah. Something more. I think that's
Yeah.
a show title. Yeah, just all those things where you're like, oh, that's just a sentence. I'm like, no, it's actually a sentence of 3 different shows.
It's so nice to be civilized,
and I'll miss the stars in your eyes and your smile.
But I gotta hit the trail. Come summer, he went back to the speedboat and watched censored scenes from King Kong. He found a shelter on the speedboat and he thought, here's where I belong. Just me and my speedboat, merrily we roll along.
The show embraces the silliness of stage performance and stage tropes while also adhering to it at the same time. It's very Urinetown in that way of like,
Which I also love. I love Urinetown so much.
If Urinetown's a little more show and
It's-
more
yeah.
and more kind of acknowledging the structure of musical theater, whereas Title of the Show is more about the creation of musical theater and the niche trivia of it while
Yeah.
also being its own show.
Yeah, whereas Urinetown, if you see it as someone who doesn't know anything about theater, you wouldn't understand that, like, what is Urinetown? It's a fiddler reference, so you wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
Like, there's plenty of things, but you can still enjoy it. But,
Yeah.
oh my god, it is so much more fun when you are a fan of it.
Oh, yeah. And depending on the director you have, you can add Easter eggs in the
Yeah.
staging. And,
Also ripe for a revival.
I've been saying this for a while
Yeah.
now. It needs to.
It feels
needs to come-
crazy to me that it hasn't been revived.
Yeah,
Because
it-
I just saw my alma mater, USC, just did. I happened to be in town and saw it, and I'm like, God, it's like a constant reminder of like, this is still pretty
Mm-hmm.
freaking airtight. Like the comedy of it is so good. The book is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And the score is brilliant. I mean,
It's a brilliant score.
so I just think it perhaps is time.
Maybe that should be Michael Barres' show.
He would be a really good mind for it. He has the sense of humor for it.
He does, and I think he would do really great staging for it. I'm down.
Okay, done.
Mikey, baby.
Mikey Boo Boo.
Daddy Michael.
Oh my God.
If you can please.
Saw that one coming.
Yeah.
Daddy Michael.
Yesterday was Daddy's Day.
It's so true. Oh my god, you're so right about that.
I mean, he is. Oh God. I know he's in a loving relationship, and I love Jeff. And if Jeff wants a piece of this too, I'm not going to say
Oh
no.
my god, you monster. You're a monster.
I'm not a monster. I'm an equal opportunity slut.
Oh, equal opportunity slut. I can't believe it.
I think that's the name of my memoir. Equal opportunity slut.
I mean, New York Times bestseller.
Yeah, well, I mean, another running joke of the show is drag queen names, which I was
Oh,
surprised.
yeah.
I was
Fair
surprised.
enough.
Fair enough. Patio furniture. I was surprised watching the Vineyard production that it actually wasn't a running joke. They just have 2 liter Pepsi.
2 liter Pepsi is very good. No, they make it.
They make it a thing.
A thing.
And I'm glad they do because it expands and makes it even funnier.
Yeah.
Because they don't explain it at the Vineyard. She just goes, if I get a new name in the show, I want it to be 2 liter Pepsi.
No, it's like every time we get a drag queen name, we text it to each other.
Yeah. They have another one.
Minivan rental.
Lady Foot Locker. They're all great. They're all absolutely great. And
Oh my
And
gosh.
it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things where like in a way, it's a little bit like Shucked, where it's,
also
a
genius,
million niche jokes.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, if you don't get that one, you'll get one later
You let it
on.
wash over you. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get one later on. But part of, I think why I kind of prefer the niche jokes in Title of the Show, and not just because they cater to me, but I think because the vibe of Title of the Show is four friends just kikiing.
Yeah.
So even if...
That's how you talk.
Exactly. Even if there's something that you don't get, you still...
You understand that it's funny.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the vibe of it. And you still feel like you're in some kind of like cool little club or like nerdy club, and that's enough.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
And then I love coming back to the show because I'll realize, oh my gosh, that's a reference I didn't understand then, but now I do because I now have experienced this show firsthand, that kind of thing. It's so much fun.
And there are things that they cut from Vineyard for Broadway that, like, when people say, like, oh, it's circle jerky and niche, it's like, well, yeah, but, like, there are things that they cut that only made them laugh because they were taking an audience into account.
Yeah.
For example, and I mean, I wish they kept it just because it's so random and stupid. In September Song, when they're doing the festival medley, they have a moment where they go, all competing for ticket sales and coverage in the press, and everything stops, and then they just do a club dance for 5 seconds.
It's so good.
It's so random.
It's so random.
And off Broadway, when they did it, it was just like they do coverage in the press, and the lights change to red, and they just dance for 5 seconds, and then they go right back into the number for no reason.
Yeah, like sure.
It's just because it fits.
Just like a visual, like you just get a break from, because the September Song is like a really intense song.
Yeah, it's
so
nonstop.
It's fun. It's like a way to instead of having the trope of someone coming up from air being like, which a lot of things have. It's like, let's instead just do a 5-second break.
Yeah,
which I love.
It's very Meredith Grey, Christina Yang. Like, let's just dance it out for 5 seconds and then go right back into the trauma.
Oh my god, I love Grey's Anatomy.
I love the
early
first.
days.
I love the first 5 seasons.
Yeah, but I think that's what anyone means when they say I love Grey's Anatomy, right?
Yeah, it's when I say I love Sex and the City, I'm like, yes, until season 5.
Oh my gosh, got it.
Yeah. Well, and I don't hate season 5 or 6. I think 1 through 4 is actual good writing.
Yeah, got it.
And then
my god.
And then we go into Lady.
I really do.
And then we go into the Lady Footlocker seasons.
Yeah.
But
another part I want to mention that I love so much is filling out the form. That's all I have to say.
Oh yeah, I love that too.
You're on. No, Susan, you're on the 9th. Filling out the form.
Your note can suck my note because your note is my notes,
bitch.
bitch.
Okay. It's like so good.
Yeah.
Like the awkwardness of, because that's what I try to. I mean, I try to strive for the comedy of like, oh my god, the process of doing theater is like can be so silly, and like they got that so brilliantly, being like, I'm sorry, I can't get my part, and then it was okay, well, let's figure it out. You're on the 9th. So fun, and I love it so much.
It's the joy and ridiculousness of a show, of putting on a show,
and it's so fun.
It's a combination of like adult, not cynicism, but like sardonic edge mixed with high school theater kid.
Yeah. Oh my god.
You know that SNL sketch of the like high school?
Oh my god.
Theater?
You mean with Will Ferrell, the one that was cut for time? Oh no, High School Theater Showcase.
Yeah. No. Well, all of them. Honestly,
oh my god, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about the music video with Lynn where they're doing Crucible Cast Party.
Crucible Cast Party.
Which is like, and how
everybody comes and nobody nuts. Crucible Cast Party.
And they all take the show so seriously. They're like,
of course.
They're like, let's go into a closet and watch a video of tonight's show.
Yeah, of the show.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Or like, I mean, I know that they ended up pulling it because they thought it was too mean, but when they did the Legally Blonde one and they're all backstage talking about it.
I hate that it's not online anymore.
I know.
It makes me feel crazy.
Because there's one line that A.D. Bryant says where she's like, can a high school show win a Tony Award? Yeah. And they're like, no, that's so unfair.
Yeah.
And it's...
Oh my gosh, it's so
Did
good.
you go to a theater camp?
Oh yeah, I went to, well, not a theater. No, I didn't go to like Stage Door French Woods, or what I call French Door Stage Woods. Because I didn't do really theater seriously until freshman year of high school. So I did like summer programs that were not necessarily camps. Like we didn't sleep in cabins.
She went to programs. We didn't sleep in cabins at Stage Door. We slept in.
You went to Stage Door?
I went to Stage Door.
Of
Yeah.
course you did.
Literally, of course I did. To everyone take a shot. We mentioned it again, but
oh my god,
the thing about Stage Door, which I love looking back on it, it did prepare me for sort of the Broadway scene because kids treated Stage Door like Broadway.
Yeah, of course.
Of who was famous there, who wasn't. Like what are the shows going to be? Like people were guessing shows. People were guessing what theaters they were going to go and who was going to cast as what.
Oh yeah,
and there was all this drama of like, oh, can so and so handle that score? I don't know.
Oh my god, like I love that. I think I'm actually really glad I didn't go to them. I think I would be a lot more insufferable if I went, you know.
Yeah.
I was so impressionable as a kid. Like, I would have become a nightmare, you know.
I think depending on who you are, I guess, and sort of what your journey is with theater, I find most of the people that I'm still in touch with from Stage Door, we did have an insufferable period.
Oh, good.
When it happened for each person, who's to say?
Sure.
You eventually come out of it.
Yeah,
because
great. The other side.
At least I hope so. But
You sure? It was right there. Oh no, he's crying.
I'm crying.
He's crying.
Oh no, no, I'm not crying. That was acting. Thank you. So, yeah,
And then
Laurie
it's like,
Metcalf's
oh,
got nothing on me.
Oh no, not at all. Grey House, who is she?
Grey House, girl, I'm a Rainbow House.
Your grandmama, Rainbow House, Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. But so
What else is there to say?
everything. So all I was gonna say was with like those theater kids,
Yeah.
it's that intensity of these shows meaning everything in the world, and you look back and you're like, who cares who played Evita in 2007? Or like,
I still do, but
You're in Town was the B show at the Elsie. Oh my god!
Oh my god, you're speaking a different language all of a sudden.
I know,
So scary.
right? But it's that kind of passion mixed with the adulthood of like,
Yeah.
you're silly, but also
Yes, it's like a knowing. It's participating in it with like always a nudge. Which I
yeah.
like.
Heidi has that line when she first meets them, where Hunter and Jeff make some kind of reference, and Heidi goes, "Is it just me to get 3 degrees gayer in here?"
And then Susan's like, I like you.
Yeah, they look at each other like, mm-hmm. We didn't talk about. We really didn't talk about either of the Susan Heidi
I
duets.
know.
We kind of mentioned what kind of girl is she, but not a lot.
A little bit.
A little bit. The random
Hold
French.
on, Matt. Can I pee?
You can go pee.
I'm gonna pee myself.
Go pee.
Okay, everyone, I'm gonna go pee.
I want to apologize for any weirdness.
Me too. It can be really scary being the new kid.
I bet.
I'll bet you bet.
I do. I bet.
And I also want to say that after all we've been through, I'm so glad we've met.
I feel the same way,
Baby, the secondary characters are calling the shots while the guys are being stored in the wings. We've been left in charge of it all while the plot's unfolding like the Lord of the Rings. Trilogy, it'll be.
Oh my god, I needed to pee for a while.
I'm so glad that you.
And I was like, I'm just gonna ask.
Yeah,
I'm just like, can I pee? Like, and then like, no, you actually have to sit in this chair. Like, no, I'm so glad I pissed. This is good.
I'm so glad you pissed.
I'm so glad I
too.
pissed.
Yeah. Have you ever listened to Breakfast Buffet with Cola Skull and Jeffrey Self?
Oh my! I love both of them, and I've only listened to a couple of the episodes. I might not understand your reference.
No, there's no. It's just one like person they have on who keeps saying like, "I love my husband's past," and they just say it so many times where, even if you didn't find it funny at first, it becomes so repetitive.
Yeah,
that
it was
you
just like you're like, wait, this is funny.
yeah, you just start to
Oh,
laugh.
I love Cole and Jeffrey.
I mean, I would see them do title of show.
Oh my god.
I mean, they would probably tweak it to make it even more disgusting.
No, they would. Oh my god, that is so smart. Someone asked me recently to celebrity cast it, and I was like, let me think. And
Yeah.
I think what I landed on was Bowen Yang as Hunter,
Mm-hmm.
and then Jonathan Bailey as Jeff. And then Aubrey Plaza as Susan,
Yeah.
and I think I said who did I put for Heidi? Who did I put? Oh my gosh. Was it Amber?
Amber Riley?
Yeah. Maybe Amber Riley is Heidi? I
Maybe.
think she has like the comedic.
I also would. I would allow Stephanie Hsu as Susan as well.
Oh my god, that's such a good idea.
Yeah, she could do Heidi too, but I would like.
No,
to
I would
see-
love to see her do To Die Vampire Die. That feels
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
To me.
but Aubrey also is.
But Aubrey is like
as a
her
killer choice.
dryness is
Oh,
like
yeah.
so similar to
Yeah.
Susan's.
The way that Aubrey would say, "I have my doots about doing a musical,"
Have Madute,
which
about
is
doing a musical.
which is also, by the way, if you read the script, they're so clever about. They have like all these notes beforehand of like
Yeah.
how to think of certain scenes, all
Yes,
this stuff.
exactly.
And they even say like Madutes. It's written in the script as "I have Madutes," and they go in parentheses, "This means my doubts."
This means my doubts.
Yeah.
I also, because there's so many niche references in the show, and I was doing it in my small town, and and you know, so a lot of people weren't going to understand a lot of the jokes. So I made a glossary in the back in case people were confused of every single reference that
Yeah.
matters.
That's something that I intend to do. I may or may not be doing working on a 54 Below concert of Smile.
oh
And-
my god.
Well, we say may or may not. Like we want to do it. It's a matter of like whether we can get funding and scheduling and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it's something that I've been talking about with some people over there, and
I can see that show having a really cool second life.
Yeah. Oh, it's that show. I've talked about it a lot. My guests know about this
Yeah.
all this so much, but like I think that show actually is super relevant and
fully.
Yeah, it works so much better than people realize.
Yeah.
It's like kind of halfway between Title of the Show and Ruthless, where it's like it's a little
Yes.
campy but very self-aware.
Yes.
But I want to create like a glossary of Smile for like all the tables if you were below, so
Yeah.
people know what all the references are.
Yeah, by all means, do it.
Jerry Ferraro, that is Geraldine Ferraro.
Oh my god.
She was the vice president nominee for, I think it was the Democratic ticket in the 80s or no, late 70s. But yeah, it's that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Because like Gen Zers are like, Jerry Ferraro.
Yeah.
Is that a person who lived?
Is that a person who lived?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, and I don't. My whole thing is like I'm not gonna hold anyone's hand, ingesting content. But if they do want to try harder, then I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna put a glossary in the back of the program for you in case you want to learn.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and it always just helps. And the show is also Title Show is very smart about a lot of that stuff. Like with the whole show begins with what is now a drag queen stole my shrimp.
Yeah, drag queen stole my shrimp.
And then goes into Mary Stout got hit by a hot dog cart. And then later on, when they're developing it further for possibly Broadway, Hunter's like, we got to change that.
Yeah, like what no one's gonna know.
No,
It's like, no, but Mary Stout was hit by a hot dog cart.
Yeah, it's like, so what,
Yeah.
why would we change that? That's what
Yeah,
happened. He's like, well, we got to change it to Al Roker. People know Al Roker.
Yeah, Al Roker.
And the irony being, when they moved to Broadway, Emily Skinner became Sutton Foster.
Yeah, like it's the change it, don't change it of it all.
Yeah.
Is so. I just ran into it. I'm writing a short film with my friend, and we were so happy with the product. And then we had a writing session the next week, and we were like, wait, do we change everything? Like out of maybe we need to make this, get to this faster, that kind of thing. And then all of a sudden, like it began to crumble. And then we're like, wait, I think we actually had it really good this first time around. But yeah, I mean, all of a sudden, if you're sort of given the task of like, do some revisions, you kind of start going crazy sometimes.
Yeah, well, because edits and rewrites, like it feels like easy progress in a way, where it's like, I can cut this, I can move this around, and it's like, well, at that point, are you making it better or worse? Or
changing it for change's
sake.
Yes.
Exactly. And you lose sight of what it is you're trying to create. I have something that I wrote, and I had a reading in March on my birthday. And I had someone there who I love, who's very smart and whatnot. And afterwards, like a week or two later, we talked about it. And their feedback was such where I was like, oh, do I need to rewrite my entire thing?
Yeah.
And then eventually I thought about it. I was like, no, I think this person essentially wanted me to write something that isn't what I want to write.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But it was the first time I had
like,
that.
oh, wait.
It was the first time where I was like, oh, fuck, do I need to like completely overhaul this?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, edits, rewriting, it's a very important thing because you don't want to just assume your first draft is your best draft. And if you trust your taste and your intellect, you can look at your stuff and find ways to make it stronger. But you do also need to like step away from time to time, because if you get too in the woods with edits and don't change it.
Yeah.
As you said, it becomes changing for changing's sake.
Change it for changing's sake.
Yeah.
Which, I think it's so easy to relate to that as someone who like creates. Because you can be happy with something, and then you can always sort of talk your way out of liking your own stuff.
Oh,
always.
yeah.
So it's like, but I mean, the line in 9 People's Favorite Thing is like, we can either follow our instinct or take advice from every joker. We can either be distinct or wind up merely mediocre, but not me. And I love that. It's like, instincts are sort of all we have as artists and creatives, and being distinct is your job. And it's like you don't want to make something and change it and then it ends up being a mediocre product. Like that's the whole conceit.
Speaking of the woman who came in and fucked up everything in the third act of the show, Sutton Foster.
Oh my god, help!
No, she's such a good sport. But I was listening. I mean, I'm so fucking obsessed with her. And have you read Hooked?
No, I actually haven't. Is there an audiobook version of it? Because I want to hear her read it. But I want to hear Sutton Foster read the book.
Honestly, probably.
Probably.
I
haven't read it.
I was very eager to read it, so my friend Elena lent it to me. But and I've listened to her talk about all this shit on other podcasts, including the Spark Files.
That's what I remember that.
She
podcast
says,
episode.
when she talks to students going into theater, her 3 pieces of advice. The third one has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Get a hobby. But she says, say yes to opportunities and trust your gut.
Yeah.
So, do things that scare you, but also when something is feeling, there's a difference between like something being new and scary and being wrong.
Yeah.
And you have to trust your instincts if something is wrong.
Yeah.
Even if someone says like, oh, I know best, believe me, there's no one who actually knows best.
No. Because we've seen, I mean, after just listening to your Roadshow episode, because I was telling Matt before, I was like, I just wanted to listen to something about Roadshow. So I was like, perfect. And it goes to show, I mean, like the best, brightest people can make a show that isn't good.
Yeah.
and that's fine. So it's like, even, you have to take every single person, no matter how important they are. Everyone is capable of making mistakes.
And I think if you're creating something, it's great to have people around you whose opinions you trust.
Yeah.
Not even always agree with, but just trust.
Trust.
And so if you disagree with them, you know that their opinion's not coming from a bad place.
Yeah.
And it makes it easier to trust your gut.
Yeah.
Because if someone whose opinion you trust says something that makes you go, that could be possibly true, there's no doubt about where that note is coming from, and and it gives you the courage to explore that note and maybe make that change,
or not, and be like, I'm confident in my not making that change.
Exactly,
yes, exactly.
But it's I wrote a script a long while back that I was trying to make happen, and obviously the pandemic hit. I don't know if you heard about her.
Yeah, I know her.
She happened. But before that happened, I had a meeting with someone who is like, for lack of a better word, extremely successful.
Okay, got it. Got it.
It's one of those things where, like, how do you describe this? They're very successful.
Yeah.
Oscar-nominated, Emmy-nominated person.
Sure.
And basically their advice when it came to taking notes was like, if you can come up with a defense for any note someone gives you, then stick to your guns.
Yeah.
But if someone offers you a note and you have no retort other than, like, you like the thing, you're like, then maybe explore the note.
Yeah. Exactly. That's such a good,
Yeah, he's like, oh, you don't want to cut that line because you like the line, but tell me how this fits dramatically. I'm like, I can. He's like, then explore the idea of cutting it.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Kill your babies.
Yeah, kill your darlings. And if you are worth your weight in salt, like you were talking about earlier, the ideas will keep coming.
Yeah.
Maybe not immediately all the time, but they come.
Yeah.
What do you do to kind of, what's your spark file?
What's my spark file?
Yeah, what do you do to inspire yourself?
It's ingesting a lot of media. So like I see a lot of theater. I mean, I try to see like at least like probably 3 shows a week if I can.
Okay,
just
money.
No, did you say money?
Yeah.
No, but being a theater influencer, I almost never pay for theater tickets. It's kind of like I'm invited to a lot of things. I'm very lucky. Best part of the job.
Yeah.
And but I say yes to every single invite I get. I'm like, I will see no matter what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it be a Broadway show or just like a random show downtown. I'm like, I would love to come.
Yeah.
And that always helps. I mean, of course, with my videos in particular, because it's about theater, and like I saw 3 shows yesterday, because I went at Rent at Paper Mill, and then saw my friend's sister show at 54 Below, and then went to Broadway Bears and Midnight. So it was like, but that's my dream day. I just want to like ingest live performance. So that is a lot of it, because like if I feel like the well is completely dry, especially considering my videos are about theater, then I see something, and then usually, something can come to mind that I didn't think of before. So that's part of my spark file. And then I love watching new stuff, like new TV shows and movies and stuff, but I have my favorites that I just go back to because they're like old friends. And shows like Broad City, shows like Veep, shows like 30 Rock, shows like I'm watching the other 2 right now, but I always like rewatching the early seasons. And I'm rewatching Looking right now, as I mentioned to you before. There are certain shows that I'm like, I can always put it on. It's like an old friend, and I love having pieces of art in my life that I always come back. And I mean, the same goes for a lot of musicals, title of show being one of them. Like I love my every 6-month complete deep dive into the show and the title of show and all that. And watching Susan Blackwell interviews, just like side by side by Susan Blackwell. And now I sort of do that. I do red carpet interviews and stuff like that. And it's not lost on me that I think a lot of my approach to it is because of Susan, her casualness when it came to interviewing. And so it's all of that. Those are my spark files, I think. It's old friends in terms of TV shows, and then seeing a lot of new theater. That's my secret. Yeah.
Those are good secrets to have.
Thank you.
Yeah. This is the thing about title of show that I think also a lot of people don't realize is people like Susan Blackwell, Heidi Blickenstaff, who really were able to kind of go to a whole new level of notoriety in the theater community from this little show that could. I mean, Heidi's now went from being someone who had to kind of fit into other people's molds to now just being a full-blown leading lady.
No, fully.
All over the place. And
Genius.
Susan working in film and TV all the time,
Yeah.
being a personality, having the podcast. Like, she's just around.
Yeah.
And is able to do it without ever sacrificing who she is.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's so wonderful to see.
Because Susan, whatever magic combination that that happened to make Susan Blackwell, like she's such a important and sharp like comedic figure in my life and many lives, and like it's so great that this was the platform, you know, because I on my birthday, I think in 2018, I saw Gone Missing at Encores. It was just one of their, you know, shows, just because Susan was in it. I was like, all I want to do is see Susan Blackwell in a show, and she was in Gone Missing. I was like, absolutely, I will absolutely see it. So yeah, and then also, I mean, Hunter, I just saw Broadway Bears last night, and he was one of the book writers on it, and like came out and bowed, and like seeing him, you know, still just as joyous and as loved as he, you know, has always been. And then Jeff has never stopped writing. I mean, they're writing that musical together, which has been in development for a long time, you know, which is exciting to me that they're still collaborators. I just love it all. It just
They all still love each other. They're all still friends.
Yep.
I watched the title of the show reunion on the Side by Side by Susan Blackwell episode in prep for this, and it was just like
the one where they're at a restaurant, and they're playing like Uncle Fritz sits happily in the bathtub. Yes, of course.
It's so good, and to see that rapport still intact, and obviously like we don't know them like they're day to day, but it's very clear that like those friendships have not wavered in any way. They all still very much are in each other's lives, and again, I think that pure joy and love and not lack of condescension, as we mentioned earlier, is what keeps those friendships alive. The thing about relationships, friendships, love relationships, and things like that, it's like people always talk about like the work and effort that goes into them, and that is true. In order to keep a relationship thriving, you do have to put in work, but the work should never feel like effort.
Like laborious.
It's something you love, and therefore, you know, the work doesn't feel like work. Yeah. It's just, no, of course I'm going to, you know, reach out to you to see what's going on with your week. Yeah. In my mind, that's just me, you know, being your friend. That's not me.
That's not being like, oh, gotta send the text today.
Yeah, that's not me.
It's on my to-do list.
Hoeing in the garden. Yeah. None of that shit. And that is, I see it with the four of them, and maybe I'm projecting. I don't think I am, though. Yeah. But I see it with the four of them, and I go, oh, God, that is the healthiest of healthy friendships.
Yeah, it looks so amazing, and they're able to create together, and I think that, and that's not. I mean, some of my closest friends, I would never even try to make something with. I mean, that's that's such a different beast.
Absolutely.
So the fact that not only do the four of them like understand each other on such a friendship level, but they were able to collaborate and create two really great musicals, and that's just like, God, that's lightning in a bottle to me. I think that's so special.
Yeah. Now let's see them do romance together.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Of all the shows,
romance. That's the first that came to mind for you.
I was trying to think of 4 people musicals. I Love My Wife.
I Love You, You're Perfect Now changed 4 people.
Maybe.
Is that 4 people?
Is it? I don't know that show well enough.
Yeah,
I think I Love You. Is I Love You because also 4 people?
I think it's like 5 people, and then you can add some people.
Gross. Okay. I Love You, You're Perfect Now changed. They can do that one.
Yeah, fine.
Whatever.
Oh my God, watch everyone being like, you're an idiot. That is not 4 people.
Listen, I had an episode.
Oh, there's like Edges.
I had an episode with Suddenly Seymour where I couldn't for the life of me remember the word acupuncture. And
so you're like needles, like
I literally was like I was like the needle thing, and Sutton couldn't realize it either. And I was like, my listeners are going to be going insane because they know.
Yeah, I love when I'm listening to a podcast and someone like can't think, or someone gets something slightly wrong. I'm sure we've had that maybe even in this episode. Someone being like, "No, idiots." Yeah. But it always makes me giggle.
I get told all the time when people are listening to the podcast, like, I will fully be responding to you on the subway, realizing I'm not actually in the room.
Isn't that the goal though? That people feel like it's just like a play date and we're all just like talking.
It's fun. It's fun. She's fun. I think that comes from you and I just being so organic and natural.
Oh my, is that it?
What you see is what you get with us, baby.
What you see, that's right. I'm trying to think of anything else with the title of the show that we like didn't cover that I mean, there's like
it's one of those things where we could just go on forever and ever.
I know. We could just like comb through the whole show and we just talk about every single moment we love. I know. But yeah, I think I love the show.
I do. I don't think I give a proper shout out to the score of the show. I want to say, I mean, you did. You were very thoughtful. But I just want to say, I love re-listening to it. I was like, oh, this score really is quite fantastic. And I remember so they opened on Broadway in July, and
Julyceum.
At the Julyceum. And at the time, everyone was like, there was a half camp of people who were like, oh, I think it could do really well. It costs no money to run.
Yeah.
And, clearly the theater community loves it. And then the other half are like, absolutely not. It's so niche. No one outside of like Broadway actors know who these people are.
Yeah.
And sort of half and half were true. They ended up running for about 3 months, which I look back, I'm like, it's a miracle they ran that long because the title of Show was really their only press leading up to it. Like, they didn't do giant, like, national coverage in any way. 'Cause I don't think they could afford to.
No way. There's no way they could. Yeah.
And so they made the most of what they had. They closed, and, I remember that final performance. It was a huge flourish. They got to do the Gypsy of the Year event a few months later. Clearly, everybody still loved them. And then Hunter gets a Tony nomination for this book, which was so incredible.
Yeah, of course.
But I also thought to myself, I'm like, I think Jeff should have been nominated for score. And then I thought about those 4 nominees. It was Billy Elliot. It was Billy Elliot, Next to Normal, Shrek, and 9 to 5.
It's pretty fierce.
It's pretty fierce.
It was a fierce year. Oh my God, that was such a good year.
It was. And if we were doing, the 2016 onwards where we get 5 nominees now, I think Jeff could have easily swooped in there.
I completely agree.
But I do sometimes wonder because we talked when I had Ben Rimmelauer on to do Tony snubs. We're like, you can't just say snub, like who was snubbed. You have to say who you would replace them with, which makes it more difficult.
Oh my God, scary.
So I'm like, okay, who would I replace to get title of the show in there? And here's where it gets tricky.
No, I can't.
There's
answer
only
that.
I
guess 9 to 5 would be my answer,
kind
but
of.
I actually love this.
Well, so here's the thing. I'm like, the one that stays is our winner, Next to Normal. That
Obviously
that absolutely has to stay. While Shrek is not my favorite to Sorry,
it was my first Broadway show I ever saw. Was Shrek.
How old are you?
24.
Go fuck yourself.
But it was 2009.
The year you were born was the year that Michael Buress made me realize I might be gay one day.
In 1998.
1999. Oh, you're born in 98?
I'm 98. I turned 25 next month.
Oh, okay. Well, hello, Daddy.
Hello, Daddy. Oh my goodness.
When one day people are going to start calling you Daddy unironically.
I know. I'm scared.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But so... Shrek, it's not my favorite story, but it's like probably my second to least favorite story. But there's no story score I dislike.
Second to least favorite?
But it's not. I say this because we got ourselves Fun Home, Caroline, Kimberly, Violet, which are just like I would kill someone else to hold on to those scores forever. And then we have Shrek, where I'm like, that is a gentleman.
Is Millie like your least favorite?
Yeah, just because it's half not her.
Yeah, it is half not her.
Yeah. Shrek is like a gentleman 7.5, and then Millie is a gentleman 7.
Okay.
So when I say it's my second to least, I'm not like
Who I'd Be though. One of the best actors.
Oh, I love Who I'd Be. I love so many songs.
Of course.
So I think I would keep Shrek. And then it's between Billy Elliot and 9 to 5.
Here's the thing. I actually probably prefer the score to 9 to 5. But like I don't want to... Billy Elliot won Best Musical that year. So I'm like, is that crazy for me to say take Elton out of the race? Because I don't think the magic of that show is the score.
No, the moment you said Elton, I'm like, killer. But
oh my God. God.
The score for Billy Elliot does what it's supposed to do, which is that
it serves its purpose for sure.
It's a jumping off point for the dance. Because that's the whole point, is that the main character best expresses himself through dance. So the score is not meant to be Sondheim. It's meant to, be as sort of basic enough for these characters to then leap into dance. So it does what it sets out to do. But if you're like, Matt, you got to kill one to put in title of the show.
Yeah.
I don't think I can take it away from Dolly because she gave us the COVID vaccine. So, and also,
hold on. That score, I listen to 9 to 5 a lot. Shine Like the Sun, bop.
Sure.
Change It, bop. There's Around Here, bop.
Uh-huh.
The opening number is absolute electricity. Then you Get Out and Stay Out. Here's the thing. The lyricism isn't profound, but I love a lot of that score. I love it. I think it's so much fun, and that cast was so undeniable. That cast album is just so much fun for me. So I might actually get rid of Billy Elliot as well, but my intellectual answer is probably getting rid of it. But it doesn't feel right.
I call Get Out and Stay Out an ode to Nodes.
Oh my God, an ode to Nodes. That is what it is.
And it's an ode to Nodes. And Stephanie J. Block just comes on stage and she goes, "What's hard?" And it's like, you
What's
don't.
hard?
What you don't know what's hard.
Yeah, you don't. It's God. Oh my God.
She's like, "What? It's simply a high A flat." I'm like, ugh.
She is singing. She's God. Stephanie J. Block. What a gift she has.
Sometimes I want to slap people. They're so talented.
She is And then also the fact that she's like hilarious and
Yeah.
like that whole falsettos of it all, like that falsettos revival like changed me forever.
Speaking of slaps, and then we'll cut it out. Two Nobodies in New York has some of my favorite bit of choreography, which is when they do the Dinah Manoff bit.
Dinah Manoff?
She's
Awesome.
awesome. She was in Greece and leader of the pack. Slap. And then
Slap. Yeah,
he
that's
slapped because they're facing each other and getting close to each other, and he slaps Jeff right before we could
ask significant
Yeah,
questions.
I just
When
love
we're
that.
doing it for my solo show, I was talking to Ben Rahul, who's the music
Mm-hmm.
director, and he's like, I feel like we need to change Dinah Manoff. And I was like, I agree, because like no one in the audience is going to know who Dinah Manoff is. It's like, well, is there someone we can change? So we really went around and like toyed with it. And we did change it. I'm not going to give it away right now. But it's like a very funny,
Mm-hmm.
funny addition that works meter-wise with the shows that we're mentioning, everything. So I will tell you that off air.
Please do. We could get that woman who was on Falcon Crest.
Oh my God, close, but no
Because
cigar.
I'm like, I'm trying to think what rhymes
on
with
Falcon
Nest.
Crest. No, you're
That's-
gonna die. You're gonna die.
I'm looking forward. Yeah, no, just this show, for everybody who might discover it and not love it, there's going to be someone who's going to discover it and love it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's such a great home-based kind of a show. It's a bomb in so many ways, and it's hard to talk about it and not feel like floaty, effervescent, like
That is exactly what it feels like talking about it.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't love being super fangirly just because I feel like once I get fangirly, I stop being, I stop doing critical analysis,
Sure.
and I'm just like,
Yeah.
But you know, in a way, it is a joyful show, and
Yeah.
I don't want to take away that from it as I like do these deep dives.
Yeah, of course.
It's just love. There's so much love in it, so much intelligence in it, and for every like. Again, like every like small note I have, it doesn't take away from all the things I love about it.
Yeah, of course.
And it also like I don't know it. There are some pieces of writing where I walk away and I'm like, I can't touch that. It like that don't inspire me to write.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's Fleabag season 2 is not in my spark file because it is so perfect.
Yeah, you're like, well,
It's such a masterpiece
Yeah.
that every time I watch it, I'm like, I can't.
it's so good.
I'm like, I can't touch this.
No.
And it cripples me for like, it paralyzes me for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I can't write. I could feel inspired with title of the show because while it is incredible, it is not like this untouchable masterpiece from like,
Yeah.
well, I could never touch that. I'm like, oh no, for everything that I'm like, oh, that's brilliant. Like, oh, that's something I'm not sure if I think totally works. What would I do differently?
Yeah.
Which then becomes its own thing. And I'm sure, you know, Jeff and Hunter have their own shows that do that for them.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the beauty of the snake eating its own tail, and that is theater in general.
Yeah.
Of the content that creates the content, which will create the content, which will
Yeah.
create the content.
which I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at your videos and I go, what would I do differently?
Yeah,
What would
I'm sure.
what would
I
do
mean, I'm
better?
sure that's my job.
I mean, I think I would be thinner.
Oh my God.
If I had made a creative choice, I would just choose to be thinner.
You know, I think if I were you, I would be thinner.
I'd be thinner. I think I would just work really hard to have a better
Oh
body.
my God, that is so rich. That is so rich.
It is rich. I'm just dragging everybody.
Drag us. I
But,
love it. Please.
but listen, everybody drags me. It's fine. I love it when people come and slip into my DMs. I'm like, so who do you think you are for having these opinions? And I'm like, I am me.
Yeah,
I am
that's so
playing
true.
me.
I'm playing stuck in a show
Where I am
where
playing
I am
me.
playing me.
Tyler, this has been
Oh my God, what a joy!
so glorious.
An absolute joy.
I've
Thank you for agreeing, because you like fully did not give me the option for title of show, but I was like, I unfortunately am going to need to sort of add to the write-in ballot.
But how title of show of you to see the options and go,
Nope.
no, I wanna carve my own.
I'm going to carve
path."
my own path.
Yeah, and the Sun Foster and me said, trust your gut and say yes.
Oh my God, and I did.
And now I have a new hobby, trolling you.
Trolling me. How lucky am I? I love it.
You're very lucky.
Yeah.
I also want to say, everybody, let's not drag Tyler for being fortunate to have invites to shows. I've also had invites to shows. I don't mean to throw you under the bus.
Oh my God.
Although it's easy, you are very thin. The night you saw Parade, I was also invited to Parade. Like,
Come on, see, it happens.
I think if I had,
That's the biggest perk. If you want to start making content, just know that could happen.
you can start getting invited to things. Listen, the day after we record this, I might be going to a fun event in Soho that I was invited to because of social media.
Oh, tomorrow?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking
I know,
about.
I know, you know what it is.
But I can't go because I'm going to a different event.
I'm sure you're going to a fancier event.
Oh my gosh. No, hardly. Just an event that I was like, I said yes to this first.
But it's fancier.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's fine. Listen, you are getting recognized at Parade, and I'm getting recognized at Titanic. So
Hey, you know what?
I'm just saying, one of them is Ben Flat Broadway, and the other one was Under Aristides. So
Yeah, you're so right about that.
one day I will get recognized at the Marriott Marquis.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm doing
Once
there.
Upon a One More Time.
Sure.
That's what it is.
I saw her.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so I've got nothing else to say.
Great.
Let's find a way to close this out. Where I'm sure anyone who's listening to this knows where to find you, but if you want people to find you, where can they find you?
You can find me on social media. I'm on TikTok and Instagram at Tyler Joseph Ellis, just my whole name.
The whole name. If you want to find me, I'm on Instagram only at Matt Koplik, usual spelling. If you like the podcast, you can give us a nice rating, nice little 5 stars. It's been a minute since we got our last review.
Do you read them aloud to the class?
I do.
Oh my god! Even if they're mean.
They haven't been mean yet.
Oh, okay.
I've gotten. I think I've only gotten like 2 1-star ratings, but those people.
Oh my god.
Those people.
It's homophobic.
Very homophobic.
Yeah.
I have a feeling I know who one of those people was. But
The tea.
But they didn't write reviews. They just did the 1-star and called it a day.
Oh, that's so lazy.
It is. But we've got every review has been either has been 5. I think 1 4-star, but those have been 5. They've been very lovely. The people who choose to listen to this podcast have written some fucking awesome reviews.
Oh my god!
I
Yay.
read them aloud, and then I in post put the Light of the Piazza overture underneath it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. Before Kelly comes in, because I can't compete with that voice.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's just in the overture, singing.
Kelly Overture Hera.
Overture Hera.
That's not a good one, but it's all I could think of. That's it, I guess. Tyler, we close out every episode with a Broadway diva. Who would you like to have us close out today?
With any Broadway diva of my choosing?
Of your choosing.
Oh my god.
We're pro-choice here.
I know. I forgot. We're going with Carol Channing.
Oh God. Okay. I really wish that there was like some recording of Carol Channing singing, in quotation marks, some song where like you want a voice, but you just get Carol Channing.
I'm sure that exists.
Nobody
Wait, that's really good. That's really good.
is gonna rain in my parade.
That's I love. Oh my god.
People,
People
who need people.
Hasn't she done that?
Hasn't? Well, no, Streisand
maybe
did.
I could just hear it.
Streisand did her show, but she's never done a Streisand show.
Got it.
That Streisand woman.
I'm like, I'm sorry, Carol, you
Oh
belt
my
a D for
God.
19 seconds. Oh, you can't
Oh,
because
you
you're
can't.
dead. Okay.
Oh my god, no! But we're ending with
No,
Carol
we're
Channing.
gonna end with Carol Channing. Great. Join us next week for God knows what, because we've been doing this whole series out of order. But it will either be Significant Other or something else.
Exciting.
Yeah, and if it's Significant Other, get ready for actual full-blown tears.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I haven't actually like cried on this podcast yet. I've gotten like a little misty reading some of
Significant
the.
Other, you're gonna get there.
Yeah, I got a little misty reading some of those reviews, but I haven't full-blown cried. That's absolutely gonna happen.
Oh my God.
That's what that show do to me.
I love. No,
me.
it's great.
Yeah. Anyway, but that's it. Have a great rest of your week, guys, and yeah, take us away, I guess, Carol. Bye.
I made the right call. I knew. I was like,
There's something in the tone of a saxophone that makes me do a little wiggle all my own, 'cause I'm a jazz baby, full of jazz bow harmony, that walk the dog and bowl the jack that caused all the talk. Is just a copy of the way I naturally walk, 'cause I'm a jazz